Sound brought to you live via St. Louis, Missouri. This is Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D, and this afternoon we have Game 2 of the 3-game set where the Cincinnati Reds are in Busch Stadium playing the St. Louis Cardinals. And if you were here watching or listening to Game Mic last night, you know that with the exception of the top of the first inning, it was all Cardinals all the time. And thank God for that. No, it was a laugher. They walked away with that one, especially after a very long bottom of the sixth inning, where they managed to bat around and walk away at the end with a 10-3 victory. But today is a new day in Cardinal land, and I'll give you both the lineups here in a moment. But going for the Cardinals today, of course, is none other than Matthew Liberatore. And as far as Liberatore goes, he actually had a pretty good start last time with against the Cubs. I believe 5 1/3, no earned runs. Some of his best stuff so far this year. Now, today, going for the Reds is the 28-year-old left-hander Nick Lodolo, who, though he has an ERA, I believe, in the high fives, his last two starts have generally been pretty good and seems to be a potential indicator of him beginning to put it together. Back in 2019, he was the first-round pick for the Reds, as I recall, 7th overall in that draft. So, the numbers may say one thing, but the reality may turn out to be quite another. What is undeniable, however, is this. Is if the Cardinals are going to continue to compete in 2026, part of that equation and making it happen is going to be consistency, quality consistency from Matthew Liberatore, who has had his ups and downs in 2026, more ups than downs, but the Cardinals need length for him, and they also desperately need quality innings. And you know what? We'll see if they get them this afternoon. Now, if you're just joining me here, by all means, chime into the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from, and I will give you the starting lineup for the visiting Cincinnati Reds this afternoon. Batting leadoff out in center field is Myers. Batting second at DH is Blade. Batting third at second base is Steer. Batting cleanup at first base is the one and only Rooksal Stewart. Batting fifth at third is Eugenio Suarez. Batting sixth out in left field today is Dunn. Batting seventh in right field is Marte. Batting eighth at shortstop is McLean. And batting ninth behind the dish at catcher is Higgins. Now for the St. Louis Cardinals. Once again, J.J. Weatherall is not in this lineup. And I looked into the transactions that have been made today roster-wise. They haven't moved him onto the shelf either. And this is kind of a problem for the Cardinals at the moment, and I'll explain why very, very shortly here. The big issue is they are, one, at present, carrying three catchers, and with J.J. Weatherall not on the IL, but not seemingly available because of the strained groin, that's almost the equivalent of 1.5 to nearly 2 positions of dead space on the 26-man roster. However, here comes the lineup. Batting leading off and right-handed hitting is the shortstop Mason Wynn. At number 2 at DH is Ivan Herrera. Batting third out and right is Jordan Walker. Batting cleanup out and left is Nelson Velasquez. Batting fifth at first base is Alec Burleson. Batting sixth is the third baseman Jose Fermin. Batting seventh at second base is Brian Torres. Batting eighth and behind the plate catching is Pedro Pajes. Batting ninth and in center field, Victor Scott II. And Matthew Liberatore is out on the bump. He throws that four-seamer, slider, curve, changeup, sinker, pretty much everything in the kitchen sink. Let's take a look here at the game mic roll call. Zodiac C is in the house, followed by one and only Justin Beasley. Here's the defensive alignment for the Cardinals. Velasquez in left, Scott in center, Walker in right, Fermin at third, Winnett short, Torres at second, Burleson at first, Pages behind the plate, and Matthew Liberatore is on the mound. Good afternoon, Redbird fans. Are we ready for some Saturday afternoon baseball? Yes, we are, Justin Beasley. Yes, we are. Starting to get worried about JJ. You and me both, Zodiac C. I think in some ways they might put him on the 10-day shelf. They're going to be really careful. Thurman, retired in Uganda, is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. All right, let's see here. Alan, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, too. Hey, Kathy Thomas in the house from sunny Illinois. Okay. Now, stepping up to the plate here is the righty hitting center fielder Dane Myers for the Cincinnati Reds. Matthew Liberatore has finished taking his warm-ups. So we are just a moment away here from scheduled first pitch. The lefty Liberatore is on the bump. He comes from the full wind, lefty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. A ball, and we are underway. A four-seam fastball up and away, 93 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. This afternoon, the Cardinals are wearing their cream Saturday alternate home jerseys like I'm wearing. Here's the 1-0. That's a ball, a four-seam fastball up and away, 94 miles per hour. The count is 2-0. With St. Louis across the chest in the red letters and the classic birds on the bat. Red letters and numbers. Dane Myers, he's hitting 247 on the year. It's a 2-0 count. From the full wind is Myers. He deals. Strike, sinker on the outside corner, 93 miles per hour from Liberatore, and the count is now 2-1 strike. For the Reds this afternoon, standard gray tops and bottoms with the red letters and numbers with Cincinnati across the chest and red helmets and caps. Chop foul down the third baseline and out of play on a curveball down and in from Matthew Liberatore, and the count is now 2-2. And if there's one thing we know about Matthew Liberatore, he's got one excellent Uncle Charlie. And there's a very small tarps-off contingent out there in right center field. It will grow as the game goes on. Here's a pitch. Hit to the left side on the ground. Fielded deep in the hole by Mason Wynn. He throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. An excellent play there by Mason Wynn, who, as I mentioned in the lineup earlier, is in fact hitting leadoff today. As you may have heard, Lars Dubar is not in the lineup. They're just giving him a planned day off. They're probably going to only make him play 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 in a given week, especially in the early going since he got back. But I have absolutely no doubt that he's probably available. Now here's the lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and in at 94 miles per hour. And the count is now 0-1 strike. J.J. Bleddy hitting 286, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs through 34 games, a 980 OPS here in early June of the 2026 campaign. From the full winds, Liberatore, he deals. Uncle Charlie low in the dirt, and that brings the count to 1-1. If you're just joining me here, let me know where you're watching or listening from. Make yourself known in the game mic roll call in the chat. From the full wind is Liberatore, the 1-1. Chop foul on a sinker in over towards the Redbird on deck circle, and the count is now 1-2 strikes. As I mentioned earlier, Blady's hitting 286 so far in early June of the 26 campaign. Here's the 1-2. Hit on out there into left center field. Going over to his right is Victor Scott. Called off there by Jose Velasquez. He catches it for the second out of the inning. Sir Old Bear, go Cards. Cheers, Sir Old Bear. Allen. Since they got Newt back, JJ will probably go on the injured list. Wynn can lead off or Newt. I mean, it might end up happening that way. They don't want to risk anything getting worse with Weatherholt's groin there, and I'm not going to blame him. Here's the first pitch to the righty steer. Four-seam fastball, strike, outer third below the belt, and the count is now 0-1 strike. There's Tito Francona after getting the heave-ho last night early on. From the full wind, the 0-1. Swinging strike on the changeup, up and away. 89 miles per hour, swung right underneath that one, did steer. And the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. Spice Muffins. Hi, Paul and friends of. Cheers, Spice Muffins. Good to see you this afternoon. Here's the 0-2. Four-seam fastball up and in, 95 miles per hour, clear out of the zone. The count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs. A 1-2 count to the righty steer. Liberatore, he's from the full wide. He deals. Hit on out there into right field. Underneath it is Walker. He makes the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. The Cincinnati Reds go down in order. And after 1/2 inning of play, it's the Cincinnati Reds nothing. And the St. Louis Cardinals coming to bat. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mic. Let's go to the chat. Zodiac C. Let's go, Libby. Couple to work with. Well, he could definitely use the run support. Choir Guy. This is the place to be on a hot summer day. You know it, Choir Guy. Hey, the Fire Phoenix is back all the way from Seattle, Washington. Let's go. Cheers to the Pacific Northwest. Justin Beasley. Everyone to be sure to like the stream. It's going to be tough to go to 100 for the 8th day in a row because of it being a day game. So make sure you drop one. Thank you so much, Justin, for being on top of that. Zodiac C. Phoenix is in the house. Arizona is fairly well represented in our regulars there in the chat. I love it. And we await the bottom of the 1st inning with the leadoff hitter Mason Wynn, followed by Herrera at DH. And then I believe it is Jordan Walker in the 3-hole, followed by Velasquez, and then Alec Burleson. So trying to break up the lefties there, clearly. How do the Yankees compensate for Judge being out? They don't. You don't replace Aaron Judge. You simply wait for him to come back. You can't replace a guy like that. He's just too good. Really what it boils down to is they're very lucky that their pitching is healthy and pitching well. They need Giancarlo Stanton to come back, really. That's probably the biggest and best thing that they can do at the moment. But you just can't replace him. You just have to find a way to win without him, really. The capabilities are just not that easy to get another one like him. So Wynn's leading off, Ferreira at 2nd, Walker 3rd, Velasquez 4th, Burleson 5th, Fermin 6th, Torres 7th, Pages 8th, and Victor Scott the 2nd is 9th. You haven't missed anything, Ethan. Not yet, at least. Here's the first pitch to Wynn. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball, down and in, 94 miles per hour, and the count is now 0-1. Nick Lodolo, the lefty's 2-1 with a 5.20 ERA, 13 walks against 22 strikeouts, a 1.37 whip through 5 starts. Here's the 0-1. Hit to the right side and through for a base hit. So a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 1st inning for Mason Wynn, getting the Cardinals started off this afternoon down at Busch Stadium in Game 2 of this 3-game series. So here's something interesting about Nick Lodolo. He actually has a fairly low arm angle that's like just below 3/4 but just above sidearm. It's kind of the same arm slot that Chris Sale and Garrett Crochet use. I'm not saying he's either of those guys, but the arm slot is pretty similar. Mason Wynn leads off first. Here's Ivan Herrera. He's at DH with his big wide open stance. Runner leads off first. Lodolo deals. Strike, change up on the inner 3rd above the knees. The count is no balls and 1 strike. 4-seam, changeup, curve, and sinker. That's what Nick Lodolo brings to the party. Coming set above the belt is Lodolo from the stretch. Here's the 0-1. There's a fly ball out there to left field. Underneath it is the left fielder. It's an old can of corn. He makes the catch for the 1st out of the inning. Shared the stream on all of my Cardinals Facebook groups. Thank you so much, Justin. So we got Dunn out in left, Myers in center, Marte in right, Suarez at third, McLean at short, Steer at second, Stewart at first, Higgins behind the plate, and Nick Lodolo on the mound. That is the Reds' defensive lineman here this afternoon. So 1 on, 1 out. Here's Jordan Walker. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. A sinker down and in for a ball, 95 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. Mason Wynn leads off first. He started things off with a single going the other way to right. Here's the 1-0. Strike, sinker, right down Broadway at the knees, 95 miles an hour. The count is 1-1. Good afternoon from Vermont. Ronald Lyle's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Come and set at the stretches, Nick Lodolo. He throws over to first, back in time with a head first slide is Mason Wynn. So we wait a little longer for the 1-1. I hope everybody enjoyed their Saturday morning here before some Redbird action this afternoon. Lodolo comes set above the belt. He deals. And it is hit foul over towards the on-deck circle. Given chase there is the catcher, but it goes about 4 rows deep, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hey, this is Heather from Missouri. Cheers, Heather from Missouri. Thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon on Game Mike. Jordan Walker, 297, 15 home runs, 45 RBIs through 60 games, a 907 OPS here on the year. Very muscular numbers here in the first 2+ months by Jordan Walker. Really breaking out this year. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Lodolo was taking too long. And Jordan's back into the box. Coming set above the belt is Lodolo. He's from the stretch. Running leads off first. Here's a pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the curveball, down and in, swung over the top of that one did Jordan Walker for the second out of the inning. So there are now 2 outs with a runner on first, and here comes Nelson Velasquez. He's out in left, doing the kind of platoon thing that he's in there. Anytime there's a lefty started through 5 games, 6 for 13, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, a 1303 OPS, albeit in a very small sample size. Here's the first pitch. Chopped down to third base, fielded there by Suarez. He throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. The Cardinals waste a leadoff single by Mason Wynn, and we head to the top of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. No score after 1 full. We head to the top of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. You can put Newt anywhere in the order and shine. Yeah, he's pretty versatile. No doubt. Yeah, Newt can lead off. Yeah, he did a really good job of that last night. Peace, brother. Well, peace to you, too. Dan MCL, do you remember me from last night? Yes, of course I remember you from last night. That wasn't even 16 hours ago, man. So we await the top of the second inning. Hey, Cards fans, hey! It's the good Tim Cook from Kentucky. Cheers to the good Tim Cook. Now, leading off in the top of the second inning got Sal Stewart, followed by Eugenio Suarez, and then Dunn. And if they get that far, Marte. So right now, this is definitely one of those occasions where the Cardinals would be well served to find a way to win this game and nail down this series. Because after tomorrow, they're going to be on the road for about a week. They'll take them to Citi Field, then Target Field up in Minnesota. So the Mets and the Twins. All right, we are back for the top of the second inning. No score. Matthew Liberatore winds and deals. Strike. Uncle Charlie outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. To the righty hitting sensation, the first baseman, Sal Stewart, who's right there in that battle for NL Rookie of the Year with J.J. Weatherall. He challenged it, and his ABS challenge succeeded. It is indeed a ball, and the count is now 1-0. So, they maintain both of their ABS challenges, as do the Cardinals. From the full winds, Liberatore, he deals. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball away, 95 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Do not get friggin' burned by Suarez. Fair enough. Sal Stewart hitting .263 on the year. Here's the 1-1. Foul tipped and off the inner thigh of Pajes there. That did not look comfortable. And the count is 1-2. Suarez used to play for the Mariners. Suarez is not really a threat. I reckon we shall see. Thurman. That's not a bad thing. The Cards do well on the road. Yeah, but you really want to see them excel in the place where they're supposed to as well. Here is the 1-2. Curveball down and in for a ball, 81 miles per hour. The count is 2-2. It was a great sight last night, Phoenix. It really was, wasn't it? Suarez is a Cardinal killer, though. Just certain guys, man, do nothing against anyone but St. Louis. They're out there. Here's the 2-2. Swinging strike, 3 on the slider, down and in for the first out of the inning. Stewart goes down hacking. Charlie don't surf. Wow, good job on the commentary. Better than the real thing. Sorry to say this, sir, but go Reds. Although your Cards are going to crush us, thanks for a great coverage. I'm glad you enjoy it. Reds fans are welcome here, too. Here's the first pitch to Suarez. Hit to the left side. Fielded on a hop by Mason Wynn. He throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. So a couple of quick outs here in the top of the second for Matthew Liberatore. And that'll make it 2 out with nobody on. And here comes today's left fielder and last night's center fielder, Dunn. Well, let's keep that going today and tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Putting down a bunt there is Dunn. He hits it over towards first. Covering is Alec Burleson. He picks it up, tags Dunn out in the baseline for the third and final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Reds. We head to the bottom of the second inning. There is no score down at Busch Stadium here on this lovely Saturday day game in downtown St. Louis. I'm Paul D., and if you like the way I call Cardinals play-by-play, by all means, please leave a like here, and I would appreciate it. It helps a growing channel out immensely, and both of those things are really very important in terms of the channel. I appreciate it. You want to see more of it? By all means, subscribe. We'd love to have you here in our slice of Redbird Nation. And with that in mind, me here, you there, this is Bombers Game Mike. Paul D is the real thing, Charlie. Oh, you are so kind, Thurman. How are things today in Uganda? At 8:35 at night, I think. Yeah. This is an early game for you. All right. So, due up here for the bottom of the second inning is going to be Burleson, then Jose Fermin, and Brian Torres, who slotted in at second base, holding down the gig in the absence of J.J. Weatherholt, who, well, we're not really sure when he's going to come back. They've been very mum on exactly what's going to happen with him and for how long it's going to take. Possibly because they don't really have the answer to either. Oh, it's 9:33 at night. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's 1:34 in the afternoon here. Understood, sir. Anywho, I am sure glad it's the weekend. Okay, we head to the bottom of the second inning. Here comes Alec Burleson. He had a heck of a night last night. He actually is the one who got the Redbirds their first lead of the night with that big solo home run. Cardinals never looked back. Here's the first pitch from Lodolo. Chop foul down the first baseline and out of play, and the count is 0-1. And look at this, another in-interview game, but this one in the dugout with John Jay. We all remember John Jay fondly. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the 0-1. Up and away with a sinker well out of the zone at 94 miles per hour. The count is 1-1 strike. No score in the bottom of the second inning here in Game 2 of 3 against the Reds this weekend. Here's the 1-1. Chop foul down the first baseline and out of play on the curveball away, 83 miles per hour. And the count is 1-2 strikes. Common set is Lodolo. He deals. Hit to the right side and over the second baseman into right field for a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second inning by Alec Burleson. The second inning in a row, the Cardinals have a leadoff hit. Will they make more of it than they did in the first following Mason Wynn doing the very same thing? We shall see. Now here's Jose Fermin. That makes it a lefty-righty matchup. Jose Fermin. He deals. Hit to the right side. And in for a base hit. Playing it on the hop is the right fielder. And that puts runners on first and second with nobody out. And now here comes Brian Torres. Making it a lefty-lefty matchup. As I mentioned just a moment ago, he is in for J.J. Weatherholt, who has another day off due to a sore groin. Not on the IL. Not being terribly forthright are the Cardinals in terms of what's going to happen. But I wouldn't take their silence as masterminder. He shows bunt but pulls back. What's the curveball down and away? Did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline. And the count is 1 no strikes. Runners are on first and second with nobody out. Lefty-lefty matchup. Lodolo comes set at the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Showing bunt again is Torres pulling back. Called a strike. Sinker outside corner. 94 miles per hour on a sinker. And the count is 1 strike. Suarez is playing in on the grass at third, with the rest of the infield defense shaded directly towards right. He shows bunt again, and he puts it down, and it goes just to the left of the pitcher's mound. Fielding, throwing, and he beats the throw to first from Suarez, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. Oh, yeah, that thing was put down perfectly by Torres. Suarez had to charge in. He was already playing on the grass, like I mentioned. He managed to get it with the bare hand. He got a good throw, but the fact of the matter is Torres was flying down the line, smelling base hit the whole way. And he absolutely beat the throw. Now, here's Pages. Here's the pitch. A change-up down and away for a ball. The count is 1-0. What's my favorite moment of Cardinals history? When Branch Rickey decided to create the farm system. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Here's the 1-0. Check swing on the changeup away. Called a strike. Ruled by the home plate umpire. No need for an appeal. The count is 1-1. Last night I passed out at about 4:30 in the morning. When I woke up, I saw the beautiful W. It's a wonderful thing to wake up to. Bases loaded and nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. No score. Pedro Pages is in the box. Infield defense playing him straight away. Here's the 1-1. Strike, changeup, right down Broadway at the knees at 89 miles per hour. Count is 1-2. That was the 20th pitch from Lodolo here this afternoon in this start. The pond is full of ducks. Cummins set his Lodolo at the belt. Here's the 1-2. That's a ball and a sinker up and away, 95 miles per hour, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stan the Man was the best. in so many ways. Coming set is Lodolo. Here's the 2-2. A curveball up and away, called a ball, 83 miles per hour. And the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lodolo has no wiggle room here. He comes set at the belt. Here's a 3-2. Hit out to the right side into shallow right field. Coming in as the right fielder. He makes the catch for the out. Everybody stays exactly where they are on that. So not at all a productive out there by Pedro Pages. Now here comes Victor Scott II. That'll make it a lefty-lefty matchup. Spice Muffins, this can't possibly go wrong. Farm system is where all the Cardinal players are who aren't actually playing in St. Louis, okay? Victor Scott II. Career with the bases loaded is 1 for 9. Has not had many opportunities. Here's the first pitch. Four-seam fastball away for a ball, 94 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. Man, if he bunts with the bases loaded, I think that pretty much punches his ticket to AAA. Coming set is Lodolo. Here's the 1-0. Strike, sinker, down Broadway, below the belt, 95 miles per hour. Count is 1-1. The pond is full of ducks. Vic Scott's hitting 192 on the year. Coming set is Lodolo. He deals. Fouled back behind the plate and out of play on the four-seam fastball up and in, 93 miles per hour. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm back, guys. Had to go do some chores, doing housework while watching the stream. I totally understand, Justin. Suarez is playing even with the bag down at third. Rest of the defense is shaded towards right. Here's the pitch. Hit on out there to right field. Coming in underneath us, and it falls in front of the right fielder. He throws in 2 runs, will score, and that will give the Cardinals, 1 run will score, and that will give them a 1-0 lead. Well, we'll take that. I thought for sure the runner could have made it all the way from second there, but it was just kind of a inside-out pulled swing out there that just kind of flared the ball out to right field. It fell in, and Burleson scored easily from third. Now, here's the first pitch to Win. A changeup on the outside corner called a strike, and the count is 0-1. The bases are still loaded here. This is Wynn's second at-bat. He led off the game with a single in the previous inning. Now here's the 0-1. Hit to the right side and through for a base hit. Coming home is the runner from third. He will score. And that will give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. A 2 RBI single by Mason Wynn. And it is now 3-0 Redbirds. That will put it runners on first and third with still 1 out to go. The Cardinals are getting to Lodolo fast and heavy here in the bottom of the second inning. Yep. Now Mason Wynn is 2 for 2 today. The offensive action seems to be boiling over from last night. And now the pitching coach is out there having a little chat with Lodolo, probably just trying to calm him down. Now, here comes Ivan Herrera for his second at-bat. We'll take it. You know it. Mason is heating up. You know it, Fire Phoenix. You know it. Runners on first and third. Win at first. Vic Scott down at third. Here's Ivan Herrera with 1 out. Already 3 in here in the bottom of the second inning. Coming set is Lodolo. He deals. Strike, curveball on the outer third thigh high. The count is 0-1. That was the 30th pitch so far for Lodolo. Back in the first, Ivan Herrera flew out. He's 0 for 1 today. Coming set is the lefty Lodolo, lefty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, four-seam fastball, well out of the zone, 95 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Maybe we need Chase to pitch every couple of days. Coming set is Lodolo. Here's the 1-1. Foul back behind the plate now to play on an Uncle Charlie right down Broadway, 83 miles per hour. The count is 1-2. Keep it going. You know it, Kathy. And yes, it is nice, Sam. Hits a 1-2 count with one out and runners on first and third. Already 3 in here in the half inning. Here's the 1-2. Foul down the first base side now to play on the sinker up, 94 miles per hour. The count remains 1-2. De La Cruz is on the 10-day IL. Lodolo comes set above the belt. He's holding. Here's the 1-2. A change-up away floats over the lefty batter's box. The count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Dobbins pitched extremely well last night. Coming in relief there of Kyle Leahy, 5 innings of shutout ball. It was good stuff. Saved the bullpen, gave quality innings. Time is granted by the home plate umpire. At least so. And Herrera and the home plate umpire are exchanging some words, trying to figure something out. I don't know what it was. Back in the box is Herrera. Runners on first and third with 1 out. It's a 2-2 count. Lefty Nick Lodolo's on the mound. Already 3 in. It's 3-0 Cardinals here in the bottom of the second inning. Coming sets Lodolo. He deals. Chop foul down the third baseline on a curveball down and in. 84 miles per hour. The count is 2-2. I love taters. You and me both. Coming set is Lodolo. The pitch. Check swing. Did he get a piece of it? Yes, he did on the sinker in. The count remains 2-2. That was the 36th pitch by Lodolo in 1 1/3 inning of work. 27 of them have come in this inning. 9 occurred in the first. Coming set is Lodolo. The pitch. Grounded to the left side, fielded there by Suarez. He throws the second one on to first. A double play, and that will end the inning. However, the Cardinals put up a nice big 3-spot. Here in the bottom of the second, we head to the top of the third. It is 3-0 Redbirds. I'm Paul D., and if you like my call here of Redbirds baseball here on Game Mike, by all means, leave a like. I really appreciate it, and it helps the channel out a lot. You want to see more of it? By all means, hit subscribe. I'm calling almost every Cardinal game now. And if I'm not, I make it a real loud point to make sure everybody who comes in here regularly knows this. And if you know somebody else who is a Redbirds fan, is experiencing this bizarro broadcast situation, doesn't know where they can find the game, or are not willing to spend on 3 or 4 different subscriptions to get it, send them the link to the stream. If you think they would dig it, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I know one thing, I will appreciate it, and thank you so much for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me. I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-0 Redbirds. Okay. 8 subs away from 500. Sub to the channel. Oh, boy. We're getting close there. I thought I read somewhere. What was that? I lost you there. I thought I read somewhere earlier today that they are going to add him to the rotation. Add who to... I don't know exactly who you're referring to. I don't know if there is anything happening in the Cards rotation at the moment. I hope your algorithms are great, Paul. I want your channel to blow up big. Thank you so much, Fire Phoenix. All right, Libby, no excuses. 3-run cushion. Get a W. Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, he's been given the mandate to lead with those 3 runs, to use a term. We await the top of the third inning. Due up is going to be the right fielder, Marte, followed by the shortstop, McLean, and then the catcher, Higgins. Today is definitely one of those days where I needed the caffeine. All right, Liberatore is out for his third frame of work. 3-0 Cardinals after that big bottom of the second inning with that nice 3 spot there off of Nick Lodolo. Now here's the righty Marte. He's hitting 152. Here's the first pitch. 4-seam fastball just low and away, 93 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. Marte, 152, no home runs, no RBIs through 13 games, a 374 OPS. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball on the inner third, about thigh high, 93 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. A beautiful early summer day at the ballpark. Here's the 1-1. Changeup down and away for a ball, 89 miles per hour. The count is 2-1. I can tell you this as a Cardinal fan. Probably at no time after June 1st would I go to any Cardinal game that wasn't a night game. Here's a pitch. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball up, 94 miles per hour. The count is 2-2. That Missouri heat and humidity, oh, it just takes you out of it. I can't do it. Here's the 2-2. Curveball up and away out of the zone, 79 miles per hour. And the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I drink that sparkling water called ice. It's delicious. From the full one, Liberatore deals. Ball 4 on the slider up and away, so Marte will have himself a leadoff walk here in the top of the third inning. It's actually refreshing to watch someone just call a game and not be dancing around and holler and making reasons to take shots of liquor, so by the 5th inning, it's unbearable to listen to. Subscribe. Ken, I'm glad you enjoy it so much. I'm very glad you enjoy it for the reasons above, believe me. Coming sets Liberatore. Here's the pitch. 4-seam fastball away for a ball, 94 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. Matt McLean, the shortstop, 198, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, 59 games, a 617 OPS here in the 2026 campaign. Marte, he leads off first. Liberatore, he's from the stretch. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Changeup up and away for a ball, 88 miles per hour. The count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Jeez, that is ridiculous, Justin. Ooh, that sounds... Oof. Here's a 2-0. 4-seam fastball up and away, 95 miles per hour. That brings the count to 3-0. Will McLean go into statue mode for 3-0? Possibly. Marte leads off first. Liberatore's from the stretch. It's 3-0 Cardinals here in the top of the third inning. Coming set at the Birds is Liberatore. Here's the 3-0. Ball 4 on the 4-seam fastball up, and that'll put runners on first and second with nobody out. That was the 30th pitch this afternoon by Matthew Liberatore. Where's our double play yet? Yet to materialize. See, John, what up, Paulie D? Great day for Cards Reds baseball and a cold red strip brewski. Cheers. Red strip or red stripe? You got to be in the box for day games at Busch for sure. Yeah. Runners on first and second. Now, stepping into the box is the catcher Higgins. It's his first at-bat. Runners on first and second with nobody out. Coming set at the Birds is Liberatore. Here's the first pitch. Called strike, 4-seam fastball outside corner thigh high, 93 miles per hour. The count is 0-1. Ozzy used to complain all the time on how hot it got down on the field. It used to be really bad at the old Busch Stadium, as I understand it. Here's the 0-1. Curveball down and in for a ball, 80 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Apparently, when they had the AstroTurf before they made the transition, the actual field itself was like scorching hot, if I remember my history correctly. Here's the 1-1. A changeup away for a ball, 88 miles per hour. Count is now 2-1. Liberatore was cruising through his first 2 frames. He's having some control issues here in the top of the third, looking to get it all together. He comes set at the Birds. Here's the 2-1. Hit on out there into right behind second base. Underneath it is Brian Torres. He calls for it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Hooray, beer. Yes, I remember that very well. I always heard that about the AstroTurf, too. The actual playing surface, it was like 140 degrees or something stupid. Yeah, that's my understanding. Now, here's Dan Myers, the center fielder. He was leading off today. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out. Lefty-righty matchup. Runners are on first and second with one out. He shows bunt. He puts it down, and it goes down the third base side. Fielding, throwing, and he beats the throw at first. And the bases are now loaded with one out. So, in that case, Fermin, he came charging in. He managed to get the bare hand on it, throw across his body. It just did not get there in time. Played well, but no dice. He definitely beat the throw. You can see it here on the replay, I'm fairly certain. Bases loaded with one out. Now here comes the lefty Blady. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Hit to the right side and past Alec Burleson into right field for a base hit. No doubt 2 runs will score, and that will make it a 3-2 game on the RBI double there by Blady. And runners are now on second and third with one out. And Alec Burleson actually did a poor job trying to field that thing. It got past him. He tried to play it on the side instead of getting it out in front of him. It was not a good job by the otherwise stellar first baseman. Now here comes the pitching coach to have a little chat there with Liberatore. Unfortunately, on that last play, that one was not his fault. Alec Burleson, no doubt in the post-game presser, will tell you he should have made that play. So it is now a 3-2 game. Roger Baseman, Tucson, Arizona in the house. Played a slow pitch tournament once in southern Illinois. 105 with 100% humidity. That is utter torture. They like to make the games interesting. Sometimes they do, Jock. All right, stepping in the box is the righty Steer. He's 0 for 1 with a lineup, 272, 9 home runs, 23 ribeyes. It looks like with runners on second and third, Liberatore's from the full wind. Here's the first pitch. Hit on out there in the left field, going back in front of the track. Right there in front, he makes the catch. Coming home in, scoring on the fly ball is the runner, and that will tie the game at 3 on the RBI. Sacrifice fly by Steer for the second out of the inning. We are now all tied at 3. Okay, error on Burleson, correct call, 100% the correct call. He should have made that, and he would tell you, I think, as much. Runner on second with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Strike, change up on the outside corner at the knees. The count is no balls and 1 strike. He comes set at the Birds. Here's the 0-1. A curveball down and in, 79 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Sal Stewart, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. One of the leading candidates for NL Rookie of the Year so far. Here's the 1-1. Called strike and challenged immediately there by Stewart. It was a curveball on the inside corner right around the knees. If the call is upheld, it'll be 1-2. If it's overturned, it'll be 2-1. Both teams have both of their ABS challenges. And the call is overturned, and now the count goes from 1-2 to 2-1. Good challenge there by Stewart. Runner on second with 2 outs. A 2-1 count to Sal Stewart. Game's all tied at 3 after the 3 spot here by the Reds in the top of the third inning. Coming set at the Birds is Liberatore. He deals. Foul tipped on the slider, down and in, goes rolling over to the Reds on deck circle, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was the 41st pitch this afternoon for Matthew Liberatore in 2 2/3 innings of work. Stewart is back into the box. Looking in is Liberatore. He comes set at the stretch right there at the Birds. Here's the 2-2. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball, up and in, 94 miles per hour. And the count is 2-2. Stewart's back in the box. Liberatore has had a long inning, to be sure. He comes set at the Birds. He deals. Fouled straight back on the slider, up and in, 87 miles an hour. The count is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sal Stewart, with runners in scoring position this year, 276, 5 home runs, 30 RBIs. That is production, by definition. Here's the 2-2. Uncle Charlie up and away, just out of the zone, and the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. To the righty hitting Rook cleanup hitter for Cincinnati. Coming set is Liberatore. The pitch. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Stewart for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So the Cardinals, they finally end that top of the 3rd. And of course, Alec Burleson is going to be due up 3rd going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3 runs and 1 left on as we head to the bottom 3, all tied at 3 in Game 2 of this 3-game set down at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let us go to the chat. Sam Foreman. Burley has to make that play. If he makes that play, that probably is a double play ball because Blady doesn't run well. At the very least, it's 1. Okay. Yep, the whistle time. The unreliability of Green, Lodolo, and Louder define this Reds team. Yeah. They definitely did some heavy damage there, Fire Phoenix. So, it's a whole new ball game. So for the Reds fans in the audience, they're back in it. David Hodge. Happy Saturday, David. Come on, Cardinals, let's get those runs back. Walks, killer. Yeah, you know it, Zodiac. Oh. 4 subs away. How about that? Thank you, Justin. We await the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lodolo will be out for his 3rd frame of work. He will face Walker, Nelson Velasquez, and Alec Burleson. Right, left. And here comes Jordan Walker, who is 0 for 1 this afternoon. He leads off the action. And he is in the box. Lodolo is on the bump. He comes set. Here's the first pitch. Strike, curveball, down Broadway, 82 miles per hour, knee high. The count is no balls and 1 strike. He has a very abbreviated windup, does Lodolo. Here's the 0-1. Swinging strike on the curveball, down and in, 82 miles per hour. The count is now no balls and 2 strikes. Coming set is Lodolo. He's ahead in the count 0-2. Here's a pitch. Hit down the right field line and out of play on the four-seam fastball, up and in. The count remains 0-2. Guys, I'm new to games like this, and I need some help. So I placed a bet. I'm betting on Walker to hit record 2 hits. Is he good? Yeah, he's very good. Here's the 0-2. Hit to the right side and through for a base hit on the changeup, down and away, and he has a leadoff single here in the bottom of the third inning. Well, there's one of the 2 hits you need. Oh, wow, already 50 likes. Oh, boy, Justin, thank you. Fire Phoenix, I don't know. Libby definitely has the tools to be an ace pitcher, but it seems like he is missing something still. Consistent control, longevity of starts. He could definitely improve his changeup some, too. Now, here's the first pitch to Velasquez. Changeup strike, down Broadway, 88 miles per hour. Count is 0-1. Libby has always sounded mature beyond his years when you hear him speak. I have no doubt. Here's the 0-1. Hit down the right field line and out of play on the changeup away, 88 miles per hour. The count is 0-2. Nelson Velasquez, he's 0 for 1 with a ground out. 429 through his 5 games, 1 home run, 4 RBIs in part-time platoon duty. Oh, you are very, very welcome, Liz. Walker leads off first. Coming set is Lodolo. Here's the 0-2. There's a fly ball out into right field. Going back in front of the track is the right fielder. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Retreating back to first is Jordan Walker. That was the 44th pitch on the afternoon for Lodolo in 2 1/3 inning of work. We want Libby to be Carp or Waino so bad. He's not that. No, he's not that. He doesn't need to be it either. That role is for a pitcher that hasn't arrived yet. However they arrive. Here's the first pitch to Burleson. Going down to second is Jordan Walker. There's the throw, and he beats the throw and steals second base. The pitch is ruled a ball, and so Jordan Walker steals his way into scoring position for the Redbirds. And he got a nice jump there on Lodolo. Even the throw was really quite good, but he got a good jump, and he's inherently very quick. 23-year-old legs. He beat it clean. So a runner on second with 1 out. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the 1-0 to Burleson. A sinker away for a ball, 93 miles per hour. The count is now 2-0. Is it possible to be a fan of multiple teams, Katie? Well, it's always possible, sure. I do it, and I don't make any bones about it. Here's a pitch. Sinker down and away for a ball. The count is 3-0. Our Slice Redbird Edition, you're a Yankee fan. Stuck in St. Louis. You are misreading the situation dangerously. I assure you I am misrepresenting nothing. Thank you very much. Here's a 3-0. Strike, sinker, outside corner, and the count is 3-1. I've been a Redbirds fan for nearly 20 years now. I have seen them and been to many games, both Busch Stadium, on the road, been following them day in, day out for years. Here's the 3-1. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball away, and the count, he walks. So runners are on first and second with 1 out. I assure you, if I want to only be a Yankees fan, I would be. Now, here is Jose Fermin for his second at-bat. Next pitcher is going to be Lodolo's 50th. Here's the pitch. Changeup down and in, 88 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. Well, thank you, Zodiac. A British Reds fan. I'm curious how that happened. Coming sets Lodolo. Here's the 1-0. Strike, sinker, right down Broadway, 94 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. I see. Coming set is Lodolo. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says Blue down the first baseline. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners are on first and second with one out. It's all tied at 3 here in the bottom of the third inning. It's a 1-2 count to Jose Fermin. Here's the pitch. Inside a four-seam fastball, 95 miles per hour. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coming set is Lodolo. He's at the stretch. Here's the 2-2 to Fermin. And he fouls it off his foot, and he is in quite a bit of pain there. He manages to get back up after rolling over himself. Count remains 2-2. Cardinals trainers are on the top step of the dugout, but they have not gone out there to attend to Fermin. Oh boy, yeah, he hit it right off his front shin, his lefty as a righty hitter there. That did not look fun. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Fermin, so we'll wait for the 2-2 just a bit longer. He's back in the box, especially considering he has no protective shin pad there. He got it flushed. Here's the 2-2. There's a ball on the curveball away, floats over the lefty batter's box, and the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. It's a full count with 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning, all tied at 3. Here's the 3-2. And he popped it on up there to the right of second base. Underneath it, he makes the catch, does the second baseman for the second out of the inning. All right. Now here is Brian Torres, the left-handed hitter. It's a lefty-lefty matchup with the lefty Lodolo on the bump. Runners are still on first and second with 2 out. Here's the first pitch. Hit to the right side, fielded on the ground there by the first baseman, and he takes it. He makes it, takes it all the way himself to Sal Stewart for the third and final out of the inning. So the Redbirds can't capitalize with runners on first and second. We are still all tied at 3. Going to the top of the fourth inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying how I call the Redbird action here on Game Mike, please leave a like. Helps the channel out a lot. You want to see more of it? By all means, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard on our slice here of Redbirds Nation. And if you're like many Cardinal fans and during this bizarre broadcast situation, you don't have a way of following the Redbirds every day, well, you can find it here on Game Mike. I'm calling almost every Cardinal game now. You know somebody else is in the same situation? By all means, share the link with them. They might appreciate it, and I sure do. And with that in mind, all tied at 3 as we head to the top of the fourth inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Wasted opportunity again, yeah, unfortunately. Oh, John Williams. In the house, had to get in my wheelchair. Good Cardinals moments. Witten 4-run home run last night, I think, against the Reds. Albert, Yachty, Willie McGee inside the park home run. McGee inside the park home run. The Fish Rizzler. Nobody's at bat. We're going to the top of the fourth inning, so we're between frames. The Fire Phoenix. I would send Scott to AAA and bring up our top third base option from our farm. We need a third baseman bad. 38 likes to 100. Wow, we're doing well. I think the Reds take this one, to be honest. We'll see. It's anyone's game right now. So, Liberatore is going to be coming out for his fourth frame of work. Now, here comes Eugenio Suarez, the third baseman, leading it off. He's going to be followed by Dunn and McClain. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch to Suarez. Four-seam fastball strike. Outer third, thigh high. The count is 0-1. From the full wind, he deals. Swinging strike on the changeup, down and in, and the count is now 0 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie. I sure hope so. Tired of losing like we are. It's been 500 record. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire. Down swinging goes Suarez for the first out of the inning. I think Libby just going to have a good inning, Paul. Better get the whistle ready. Yep. Hey, Missouri Gaming. There we go. Cards guy at third in a triple. Okay. Yeah. Good to see you, Missouri Gaming. Here's the first pitch to Dunn. Curveball just inside and high. The count is 1-0. From the full wind, here's the 1-0. Fouled back on a four-seam fastball up and in, 93 miles per hour. Count is 1-1. Hi, Missouri Gaming. Great to see ya. From the full wind, Liberatore deals. Four-seam fastball up and away, 94 miles per hour. The count is 2-1. Nobody on, 1 out. Matthew Liberatore is on the bump. Here comes his 52nd pitch of the afternoon. He deals. Hit to the left side and through the hole into center field for a base hit. Fielded by Victor Scott. Throws on in. And that will be a one-out single here in the top of the fourth inning. I really do like Zodiac. I definitely like his defense in center field. He brings a lot to the equation. The only problem is that, you know, hitting under 200, if you're under the Mendoza line, it's not going to keep you in the league for long, no matter how elite the defense. I think we all want him to succeed, but we'll see what happens. Here's the first pitch to Marte. Slider down and in for a ball, 85 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. Coming set at the Birds. He deals. Foul down the first base side and out of play on a four-seam fastball up and away, 94 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Runner leads off first. Liberatore is from the stretch. It's a lefty-righty matchup with the righty hitting Marte in the box. Throwing over to first, back in time, is the runner taking less than a nothing lead. Count is 1-1. I like your take, John. I like your take. Coming set at the Birds is Liberatore. Here's the 1-1. He throws front to first, does Pages. Back in time is the runner. He got a little snap throw there after the pitch. It is, of course, ruled a ball. However, the count is now 2-1. Yeah, he does have minor league options. And unfortunately, when Nathan Church comes back, the logjam is going to be pretty severe. Coming set is Liberatore. Here's the 2-1. Chop foul down the third baseline and out of play on a changeup, 86 miles per hour. The count is 2-2 strikes. Back into the box is Marte. He walked in his first at-bat. Runner leads off first. Liberatore, he looks into Pages. He has his pitch. He comes set at the Birds. He holds. He deals. He goes down to second. There's the throw. Here's the play. And he is safe at second. So he manages to steal second on the play. And the count is now full. 3-2 strikes. There was a reason they were paying so much attention to Dunn down there. Runner leads off second. Here's the 3-2. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball down and away, 94 miles per hour. And the count is now still full, 3-2 strikes. There is one out in the top of the fourth inning, all tied at 3. This is an afternoon where a starting pitcher could get gassed very quickly. Time is granted by the home plate umpire. And we await the 3-2. Coming set is Liberatore. Here's the 3-2. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Marte for the second out of the inning. Yes, indeed. It is a nice problem to have, Missouri Gaming, no question. So runner on second with 2 outs. Now here's the 8-hitter, the righty McLean, who walked in his first at-bat. Here's the pitch. Called strike, 4-seam fastball outside corner, 94 miles per hour. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. I'm glad you enjoy that so much, Justin. Coming sets Liberatore. He deals. Hit on out there in the left field. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is gone. A 2-run home run by McLean, and that will give the Reds a 5-3 lead. He absolutely got everything on that one and went about 4 rows deep down there in the left field side. And the Reds now have a 5-3 lead. And that was a cement mixer, rather a cement spinner slider down and in to McLean, and he deposited it about 350 feet down the left field line. 5-3 Reds. Now here's the first pitch to Higgins, who's 0 for 1. 4-seam fastball up and away, 93 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. That was the 62nd pitch by Liberatore. Here's the 0-1-0. Changeup up and away out of the zone, 87 miles per hour. The count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Liberatore comes to the full wind. He deals. Foul down the first base side now to play on the 4-seam fastball, 92 miles per hour. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 subs away. How about that? That will be a real feather in the cap. Thank you, Justin. Here's a 2-1. A slider up and away out of the zone, 89 miles per hour. And the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, he definitely proved dangerous. No question about it. Nobody on, 2 outs. A 3-1 count to the righty Higgins. Liberatore deals. Hit on out there into left field. Coming in is the left fielder. He makes the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning, but not before the 2-run bombola by McLean gave the Reds a 5-3 lead. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-3 Cincinnati. I'm Paul D. Thank you all so much for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me here as I call the Redbirds action. And if you like how I do it, by all means, please leave a like. It helps out the channel immensely, and I appreciate the hell out of it. You want to see more? By all means, subscribe. We'd love to have you here in our slice of Redbird Nation. And with that said, me here, you there, this is Bombers Game Mike. The minor league is stocked with pitching, hopefully. There's definitely room for hope down there, I think it's fair to say, Zodiac. Rodney Slinger, I think yesterday made the Reds mad enough to bring it today. Maybe so. In Heim we all trust. Oh, in Heim we trust. Until he gives us a reason not to, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. He definitely has a long rope on that. A lot of slack. Got to get those runs back. Sure do. Randy McIntosh. Fixing cards pitching is bunk. Libby can't even beat the Reds. Game ain't over yet, man. He's not having a great afternoon. That much is certain. But he is better than he's showing today. But fact of the matter is, what matters is today, and right now he's on the hook for 5 runs. So at the end of the day, I mean, the Cardinals have largely been seeing him. Basically, he's like a de facto 2 starter, when in reality he's more of a 3 on a lot of rosters and a lot of staffs. And the Cardinals, they just don't have a true number 1 in their rotation yet. However they end up getting it, that's one thing they will need if they want to compete in future years. Libby's like roulette. Yeah, pretty much. Now here's Pedro Pages for his second at-bat. He's leading it off. He'll be followed by Vic Scott. And then back to the top of the lineup with Mason Wynn, who's hitting leadoff. From the full lines, Lodolo, he deals. Change-up, strike, outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. Pages is 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back on the sinker away, 93 miles per hour. He clearly just missed that. And the count is 0-2. Who is a pitcher kind of in a tier behind Skeens? Pretty much everybody. Here's the 0-2. Curveball down and away for a ball, 81 miles per hour. The count is 1-2. Lodolo comes wide. Here's the 1-2. Swinging strike 3 on the curveball, down and in for the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Ultimately, Paul Skeens is kind of in a league all of his own, along with, Mizorowski, Skubal, Cam Schlittler. I mean, those guys are really, really, really cooking. Here's the first pitch to Victor Scott. Fouled back on a four-seam fastball up and in, 92 miles per hour. The count is 0-1. Nobody on, 1 out. It's a 5-3 Reds lead here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Coming set is Lodolo. He deals. Strike, sinker, down Broadway, right about the belt. Somewhat favorable call, but no one's challenging it. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. It's a lefty-lefty matchup with the lefty Lodolo on the mound against the lefty hitting Vic Scott II. Here's the 0-2. Fouled down the third baseline and out of play on the four-seam fastball up, 93 miles per hour. The count remains 0-2. How do I spell my last name? Why do you ask? Here's the 0-2. Curveball down and away in the dirt for a ball. The count is 1-2. 1 sub away. Wow. Mind-boggling, man. Nobody on, 1 out, so 1-2 count to Vic Scott. The lefty Lodolo is from the full wind. He deals. Foul straight back on the four-seam fastball up and away, 93 miles per hour. And the count is 1-2. Yeah, seriously, Missouri Gaming. Lodolo winds and deals. Curveball down in the way in the dirt for a ball. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Exactly, Justin. Here's a 2-2. Hit to the right side, fielded there by the second baseman. He throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. So, Lodolo manages to retire the first 2 Cardinals here in the bottom of the fourth. That last pitch was his 68th of the outing. Here comes Mason Wynn, who's 2 for 2. Has a couple RBIs to his name. Lodolo deals. Sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Nobody on, 2 out. Lodolo winds and deals. Change-up, strike, right down Broadway, 87 miles per hour, and the count is 1-1. Wow, 501. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy it. Here's a pitch. Foul down the left field side and out of play on the curveball down and in. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mason Wynn. If he goes 3 for 3 or more, I can safely say he is back. Let's see where he goes with it. He's back in the box. Coming set above the belt is Lodolo. From the full wind, it is. Four-seam fastball up, 94 miles per hour. The count is 2-2. Appreciate you, big dog, at work here in southern Indiana. I'm glad I can keep you company here today at work. Here's a 2-2. Fly ball over there towards the Cardinal dugout. It'll go a few rows deep. Count remains 2-2. Congratulations, Paul. I was glad to be here for the first 500 subs. Can't wait to be here when you hit 1,000. You, Trisk, Ronald Lyle, for life. So many people I can thank for pumping me up and being part of the vanguard here. You guys have been amazing, and this is really a heck of a milestone for the channel. Thank you all so much. Here's the 2-2. He just gets a piece of that curveball down and in from Lodolo, and the count remains 2-2. It's really been a remarkable experience, and I'm glad you guys get so much out of it, and as much as I do, getting the opportunity to call it. Nobody on, 2 out. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the four-seam fastball in the inner third. Down goes looking is Mason Wynn for the third and final out of the inning. We head to the top of the 5th inning. It is 5-3 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D, and I was just alluding to a moment ago. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Over 500 subscribers. That's nuts. It really is. But I can tell you one thing is for sure. I obviously play my role in this, but the thing that's truly amazing is every single person who comes here day in and day out, whether you're involved in the chat or you just choose to sit and watch, I would not be here doing this without you. You have made this far more incredible than I could possibly have imagined, and far quicker than I could have imagined at that. So I thank every single one of you. And all I can say to that is, I hope we get to watch a lot more competitive Redbird baseball throughout the rest of 2026 and beyond together. Thank you all so much. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Bike. Joe Breeding. Joe. Kelly Teller, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. It's good to see you, Joe. Number 68 in the likes. This game isn't over yet. No, it's not. Ken, it's Cardinal Nation where I live, and I'm a manager of my store, so I have him playing over the store intercom. Are you kidding me? Really? Oh, wow. That's definitely one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me. I'm very complimented that you feel comfortable enough with my call that you're totally cool with your customers hearing me. That's quite a vote of confidence. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much, Roger. Thurman, little drink to that. Cheers. The good Tim Cook. Congratulations, Paul. Well deserved. Thank you so much, the good Tim Cook. Now, here's the first pitch to Myers. He's 1 for 2. Four-seam fastball up and away, 92 miles an hour. The count is 1-0. It's a 5-3 Cincinnati lead here in the top of the 5th inning. Liberatore is out for his 5th frame. And, whoa, that thing goes flying way up and beyond Pedro Pages all the way to the backstop. It was an Uncle Charlie that clearly got away from Liberatore. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. From the full wind, it is fouled straight back on the sinker away. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 5th inning. 5-3 Reds. It's a 2-1 count here to the leadoff hitter, Myers, who's 1 for 2. Now here's the 70th pitch from Liberatore. Foul down the first base side, now to play on the four-seam fastball up and away, 93 miles per hour. The count is 2-2. Justin Beasley. Bro, tell me about it. I still have a lot of friends and family there, and I plan to come and visit in October for Fall Festival. Nice. Here's the pitch. Slider well upstairs and out of the zone, 84 miles per hour, and the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. White Shadow. Hell yeah. Got to get the brain sandwich and the 2-foot-long pronto pups. Here's the pitch, hit to the left side, and past Mason Wynn. It deflects over to the third baseman, but he cannot get there in time. Mason Wynn tried to get that ball on a hop on the backhand with the glove, deflected off the glove, went right over there to Fermin. Fermin tried to get the runner at first, but the fact of the matter is there was just too much time had elapsed. Mason Wynn would tell you he should have made the play. He did not, unfortunately, so a runner on first with nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Blade. A sinker and away for a ball, 93 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. For the next 500, the A in my last name is short, just saying. Here's the 1-0. Sinker down and away for a ball, 92 miles per hour. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. 5-3 Cincinnati here in Game 2. The Saturday afternoon special. Coming set from the stretches, Liberatore. Here's the 2-0. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball on the inner third. Swung right over the top of that one, did Blade. And the count is 2-1. And a moment's being given here to Matthew Liberatore to retie his shoe. But he's upright now. The batter is back in the box. Lefty-lefty matchup. Runner on first with nobody out. It's a 2-1 count. Coming set at the birds is Liberatore. He throws over to first. Back in time is the runner with the head first slide. So we'll wait a little longer for the 2-1. 20 likes away from 100. Let's make it 8 games in a row, chat. That's just nuts. Thank you, Justin. Coming set. Here's the 2-1. He goes down to second. There's the throw. There's the play. And he is ruled safe at second. So a stolen base off of Pages there. The pitch is ruled a ball. And that'll bring the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, let's take a look at this thing on the replay. There may be... Ooh, that's very, very close. I don't know if they're going to review this. Let me take a look further. That's not a good angle. I'm being blocked by the umpire. You know, they might have gotten him there. Let's see what happens. Oh, this is a decent angle. Let's see. It's close. I don't know if it's under review. Stand by. It is under review, so we're going to wait here and see what the MLB Replay Operations Center makes of it. Whatever it is, it's very bang-bang. It hangs on a knife's edge, to say the least. Ooh, boy, he might have gotten him. Let's see. It's hard to get a really good camera angle. That's the problem. Ooh. So the play is still under review. They're clearly taking a very close and careful look at that. They are not just, basically volleying it straight back. So we all wait the outcome on the play under review there. What was originally called safe, a steal of second. Whatever the case is, it's going to be a 3-1 count whenever play resumes, whatever the circumstances. And Fermin and Mason Wynn are both chatting them up down there at second. It's interesting how the relationships between players on opposing rosters has changed so much over the years. It's definitely become a far more of a fraternity among players in general. All right, let's see what we got here. He is confirmed safe, so the call is upheld. The runner has stolen second. after the reviewed play. And we go on. Runner on second with nobody out. It's a 3-1 count to the lefty Blade. Lefty-lefty matchup. Coming set is Liberatore. He deals. Strike, sinker on the inner third at the knees. The count is 3-2. That one came in at 91 miles per hour. Runner leads off second. Time is resumed. From the stretch is Liberatore. Here's the 3-2. And he popped him straight up there in the infield. Coming in, who's going to call for it? Mason Wynn makes the catch. Staying right there at second is the runner. And that's the first out of the inning. Just, let's put it this way. As far as Ollie Marmol is concerned, if we're only going off his facial expressions, I'm not convinced the man has a single emotion that he's ever experienced. That was the 78th pitch by Liberatore through 4 1/3 inning of work. Now here's the righty hitting Steer. He's a 3-hitter, lefty-righty matchup. Runner is down at second. Here's the first pitch. Called strike, sinker right down Broadway at the knees, 92 miles per hour. The count is 0-1. He's like the Sphinx. The most we ever see is just like a shadow of a smile. Common set is Liberatore. Here's the 0-1 to Steer. Swinging strike on the curveball down and in. 79 miles per hour. The count is now 0-2. Well, I don't know if he's a robot, Fire Phoenix, but he sure does a good impression. Heck, Data from Star Trek has emoted more than Ollie Marmol. Looking in his Liberatore. He comes set at the stretch. Here's the 0-2. Just missed the outside corner with the four-seam fastball, 93 miles per hour, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. When we get Joshua Baez, Velasquez, and Blaze Jordan in the lineup, I feel the Cardinals will be complete. JJ, I hope you're right. That would be pretty amazing to hit on every single prospect. Bluffing up back towards second is Liberatore, and the count remains 1-2. Yeah, to hit on every single one of those top prospects would be quite the windfall. Here's the 1-2. Curveball down and in the dirt. Laying off of that one is Steer. The count is now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I feel they will get it done for the Cardinals. They just need 400 at-bats. I think in all likelihood, so long as they don't get dealt, everybody you mentioned will get their look eventually. Common set is Liberatore. Here's the 2-2. A slider well up and away, 84 miles per hour, nowhere near the zone. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ethan is in the house, our favorite Bird fan. Spencer Steer, 269, a home run, 15 RBIs this season with runners in scoring position. Runner leads off second. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Steer. And we'll wait a little longer for the 3-2. The group of shirtless dudes in right field aren't loud enough. No, maybe not. Here's the 3-2. That's ball 4 on the four-seam fastball up and away, so that'll put runners on first and second with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. That was the 84th pitch from Liberatore. I have to imagine that there's not that much rope left yet. And indeed, that comment was prophetic by about 2 seconds in advance. Here comes Ollie Marmol. They're going to the pen. And who are they calling in? They are calling in the righty Gordon Graceffo. So there goes Matthew Liberatore. He still is responsible for the runners on first and second. Oh yeah, Ronald, they are pulling them. And we go to the pen. Well, not we, but Ollie Marmol certainly does. Bro Paul, I'm at an air show, and this F20 is so loud. It's going like 300... F20 or F22. It almost creates a sonic boom. Well, if you're talking about the F22, they are supersonic, so that's really cool. You get to be at an air show. Perfect time of year for an air show. Oh, the tiger shark. I thought you were lucky enough to see an F-22 Raptor. It's like, oh man, that would be incredible. Yeah. Well, its top speed is 1,500 miles an hour. Been here for 2 hours, not bad. Development for that aircraft began in 1975. Designed for export by Northrop. Interesting little note. What is then Northrop, and today now known as Northrop Grumman. Northrop was actually headquartered in my hometown for many, many years. Even if Libby is going to be a 4 or 5, still need more than that. Yes, that is true, Zodiac, no doubt. So runners are on first and second. My favorite band? Oh, that's a good question. Coming set is Graceffo. Here's the first pitch to Sal Stewart. Four-seam fastball away, 95 miles an hour. The count is 1-0. Well, I'm pretty sure my dad would cut me out of his will if I didn't say the Beatles. Luckily, that is the proper answer, but it's also a really easy one, so I'll give you better than that. Coming set is Graceffo. Here's the 1-0. Called strike, right down Broadway, 96 miles an hour. The count is 1-1. I think pound for pound, on my own, just calling for myself, I really do love the Chili Peppers. They may be getting up there, but they have an amazing catalog. Here's the 1-1. A slider down and away for a ball away from the righty Stewart, 89 miles an hour. The count is 2-1. Coming set is Graceffo. Here's the 2-1. A sinker down and in, 95 miles per hour, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you're up at 500, Ethan. We'll see how things turn out today. Runners are on first and second with 1 out. It's a 3-1 count to Sal Stewart. Here's the 3-1 from Graceffo. And that is a fly ball out there to deep right center field. Underneath it at the track is Victor Scott. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Moving up from first and second to second and third are the runners on the sacrifice fly. And that is the second out of the inning. So Graceffo comes in and restored a modicum of order. And Vic Scott was really fighting the high sun and trying to pull that one in. He was out there right in front of the wall. Runners are now on second and third with 2 out. And here is Eugenio Suarez. He's 0 for 2, righty-righty matchup. 5-3 Cincinnati, top of 5. Here's the first pitch to Suarez. Four-seam fastball up and away, 96 miles an hour. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Coming set is Graceffo. He's set at the Birds. Here's the 1-0. In the dirt, blocked by Pajes on the slider down and away, and that'll be a ball. The count is 2-0. These are excellent headphones, but boy, do they overheat you after a while. Eugenio Suarez 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. 212, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs through 37 games in 2026. For the Reds, runners are on second and third with 2 out. It's a 2-0 count. 5-3 Cincinnati, top of the 5th inning. Coming set is Graceffo. He deals. Strike. Four-seam fastball whispers over the outside corner about thigh high. And the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Coming set is Graceffo. Here's the 2-1. Swinging strike on the slider down and the way. Swung right over the top of that one did Suarez. That'll bring the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Graceffo's one strike away from fully restoring order here. Let's see if he can do the job. Come and set at the Birds is Graceffo. He deals. Swinging strike, 3 on the slider, down and away for the third and final out of the inning. Graceffo gets out of the jam of Liberatore's making. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is 5-3 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D., and if you like how I'm doing my Redbirds play-by-play, please leave a like. I appreciate it a great deal, and it helps this growing channel out a lot. And apparently now over 500 of you have subscribed to Game Mike, more than I could have ever hoped for. Thank you so much. And if you are new here and you want to see more, by all means, hit subscribe, especially if you're having trouble watching the Redbirds every day because of the really bizarre broadcast situation. I'm calling almost every Redbirds game here on Game Mike, and if I'm not, I make it very clear when I'm not. But there's no day like that coming up that I'm aware of, including when I have to go on the road later this upcoming week. And if you know somebody else who's in the same position as you, and you think they would appreciate my stream, share it with them. They might appreciate it. And whether they do or whether they don't, one thing is for sure, I appreciate it. Thank you all so much, and thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me. It's my pleasure being here with you. With that in mind, 5-3 Cincinnati, I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. Ronald Lyle. Put the rally cap on. Let's get some runs. Make sure to hit the like button. Cheers, Ronald Lyle. 9 likes away from 100. Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. Joe, time to work now, man. You got that right. Zodiac, need to start getting scoring again. Absolutely. Justin, you absolutely love that PC Richard and Son whistle. I'm glad you dig it so much. Here's Ivan Herrera. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup, down and in from Lodolo, who's out for his 5th frame of work. That was his 76th pitch on the afternoon. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning. 5-3 Cincinnati. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Here's the 0-1. A sinker in and off the plate, 93 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. So the Cardinals got to get some action here on offense. Here's the 1-1. Chop foul down the third baseline on the changeup, down and away, 87 miles an hour. The count is 1-2. We're a team, Ronald. I got you, brother. Yes, you guys are a team. And I'm lucky to have you. Say the least. My goodness, you guys are amazing. Here's the 1-2. Hit foul down the right field line and out of play on the curveball, down and away. The count is still 1-2. Still got my Velasquez homer coming. I hope you do. I really hope you do. So it's a 1-2 count here to Ivan Herrera. He's at DH this afternoon. Coming winds Lodolo. He deals. Chop foul down the third baseline and out of play on the curveball, down and in, 82 miles an hour. Ah, Gabe, what up, Big Paulie Diesel? Gabe's in the house. Yes, you are, Gabe. Great to have you back. From the full winds, Lodolo. Here's the 1-2. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the changeup away, 88 miles per hour. Herrera is putting together a long at-bat. Dave Stevens. Yeah, Mike Shannon was my favorite, too. May he rest peacefully. Here's the 1-2. Hit on up the middle and stab there. Picking up, that is Steer. Catches it on the lazy line for the first out of the inning. He had to run all the way behind second base to get it, but he got it. That tarps off contingent out there. There's a lot of sunbirds out there waiting to happen. It's okay, Thomas. You can do what you got to do. Here's the first pitch to Jordan Walker. Curveball strike, outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. I have nothing against prognosticators or anybody that may be wagering. Here's the 0-1. Fouled straight back on the sinker upstairs, 93 miles per hour. And Lodolo has Jordan Walker in the hall. No balls and 2 strikes. You're going paddleboarding with the family. That sounds like a lot of fun. Whew, that's awesome. Nobody on, 1 out. Here's the 0-2. Curveball down and in for a ball. Laying off that one easily is Jordan Walker. Counts 1-2. Jake Cornett, not to worry. The Reds bullpen will likely drop this game, but go Reds. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker, so we'll wait a little longer for the 1-2. We shall see, Jake. Here's the 1-2. Curveball down and away, 81 miles per hour. Just missed the plate and a little too low. The count's even at 2-2. Coming set is Lodolo. He's from the full wind. He deals. Curveball in the dirt, down and in, 81 miles per hour, and the count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Walker. I have full faith. We will hit 100 likes for the 9th game in a row, even without me, because you guys are awesome, chat. This is true, Justin. This is true. Nobody on, 1 out. It's a 3-2 count. Lodolo deals. Hit on out there into right center field, going back in front of the wall. He's looking up, and it is off the top of the wall. Is it ruled a home run? What is the ruling? And it's ruled a home run, and that will make it a 5-4 Reds lead on the solo home run by Jordan Walker with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, he just got that thing just beyond the top of the wall in right center field. And the Cincinnati now leads 5-4 following the solo home run to right center field by Jordan Walker. Oh, yeah. Yes, he was due indeed. Now, here's Nelson Velasquez. He's 0 for 2, lefty-righty matchup. Hit on up the middle, right there behind second field to Bysteer. He throws to first in time for the 2nd out of the inning. This next pitch is going to be Lodolo's 90th pitch of the afternoon. We just as we get to 100 likes. Great job, chat. Thank you, Ronald, Justin, Tris, For Life, Joe, everybody. Now, here's the first pitch to Burleson. Hit to the right side. Fielded there by Sal Stewart. He takes it to the bag himself for the 3rd and final out of the inning. But not before Jordan Walker connects with one to right center field. Gets the Redbirds just a run closer. We head to the top of the 6th inning. It is 5-4 Cincinnati at Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi River. I'm Paul D, and if you're enjoying my call of Redbirds action here on Game Mike, by all means, do leave a like. I appreciate it. The channel benefits from it a great deal, and if you want to see more, by all means, hit subscribe. Join us here in our slice of Redbird Nation. And with that in mind, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. For life, speak of the devil. Hello, everyone. I come in and we get a home run. Let's go, Cardinals. Good to see you, For Life. I am the Poppy. WTF was that? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to need you to get more excited about Jordan Walker home run if you want that subscription and like. Hey, I called the game the way I call the game. All right. Appreciate the call. I'm in South Carolina and unable to listen to the Reds locally. Great radio voice. Well, thank you so much, Jake. Ronald Lyle. I think they just like coming from behind. Go Redbirds. That certainly makes it more exciting. So we await the top of the 6th inning. Leading off is going to be Dunn, followed by Marte, and then McClain, who in his last at-bat hit a 2-run home run. Gave the Reds a 5-3 lead at the time. Alrighty. It is the top of the sixth inning, 5-4 Cincinnati. And here comes the righty Dunn. Graceffo, he's out for his second frame of work. He comes to the full wind. Here's the first pitch. Showing bunt is done. He pulls back, but it's a slider right down Broadway, called a strike, 88 miles per hour. And the count is no balls and one strike. From the full wind, Graceffo deals. Four-seam fastball up and in, 95 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Dunn is 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Graceffo came in relief of Liberatore back in the fifth. Managed to get out of a jam with runners on second and third. Here's the 1-1. Strike, four-seam fastball on the inner third below the belt. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Dunn. And we await the 1-2 a little longer. Graceffo has his pitch. It's a righty-righty matchup. From the full wind, the 1-2. Hit on up the middle and in for a base hit. Fielded on a pair of hops there by Vic Scott out there in center field. And Dunn has himself a leadoff single here in the top of the sixth inning. Dave Stevens, is the Bombers game t-shirt in the works? I would call it in the conceptual stage at the moment. John Williams, hey, here are some crazy ways to subscribe. Oh. I love it. Thank you, John. Now, here's the first pitch to Marte. Hit to the left side and past a diving Mason Wynn into left field for a base hit. So the Reds now have runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the sixth inning. Bro, a t-shirt would be dope. Well, Gabe, like I said, it's in the conceptual stage. It'll come through, don't worry. I just got to find the right design, because anytime I'd put out merch, and this is something that I've always kind of made a promise to myself about, I want the t-shirt to be able to stand on its own as opposed to merely being representative of the channel. Now, here's McLean. Four-seam fastball called strike on the outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. McLean 1 for 1 with a walk in that 2-run home run that gave the Reds their 5-3 lead at the time. Runners are on first and second. From the stretch is Graceffo. Here's the 0-1. A curveball down and away, 83 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. I need at least a 3X. Understood. No, but I want any t-shirt to be of value in and of itself. I'll explain more in a moment. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on a slider down the way. McLean swings right over the top of that one. And the count is now 1 balls and 2 strikes. Coming set is Graceffo at the Birds. Here's the 1-2 to McLean. Slider down and away in the dirt, well out of the zone. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So runners are on first and second with nobody out in the top of the sixth inning. It is 5-4 Cincinnati. Right now, Jojo Romero is starting to get hot down there in the Cardinal bullpen. Graceffo, he comes set at the Birds. Righty-righty matchup. He deals. Bounces out in front of home plate on a curveball, 85 miles per hour. And the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ethan, I think almost everybody here would love it if they turned a triple play right now, believe me. The old 5-4-3 triple play. Infield defense largely shaded towards left with the exception of Burleson at first. Coming set, it's Graceffo. Here's a 3-2. Hit to the right side, fielded there by Torres. There's the second one. And that's all they're going to get is the runner at second at the 4. So that'll be the first out of the inning. That'll put runners on first and third with 1 out in the top of the 6th. So Torres had to go in range to his left, spin, and throw to Mason Wynn there at second. And there was no chance of a successful relay throw to first. So that'll be the first out of the inning. Now here is P.J. Higgins. He's 0 for 2 with a pop out and a fly out. 261, no home runs, 4 RBIs through 10 games. Is the catcher for Cincinnati. Runners on first and third with 1 out. Clear that out. Good to go. Graceffo, he comes set. Righty-righty matchup. Higgins 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone, 89 miles per hour. The count is 1-0. I think it's just getting the day off. They're kind of easing him back in. It was an expected thing. Coming set is Graceffo. Here's the 1-0. Four-seam fastball down and in, 95 miles per hour, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Graceffo's back onto the bump. Runners on first and third with 1 out. It's a 2-0 count. Righty-righty matchup. Graceffo comes set. He deals. Hit on up the middle. Fielded there behind second is Torres. He steps on second, 1 on to first. A double play. The pitcher's best friend will end the inning. No damage across. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still 5-4 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Well, talk about a double play exactly when you need it, right? The Fire Phoenix. Yeah, Newt recovered nicely from surgery. He's still got his wheels. Yeah, he does. A very nice job by Torres. Yeah, absolutely, Sam. If we tie it up or take the lead, I will go tarps off here at work. All right, White Shadow. Woodworking Outdoorsman, keep up the good work. You'll be at 1,000 subscribers before you know it. Well, thank you so much, Woodworking Outdoorsman. And welcome back. It's good to see you. Oh, come now. None of that. We're all friends here. And if you don't like it, I don't think we're going to lose any sleep. We await the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 5-4 Cincinnati. Due up here in the bottom of the 6th is going to be Fermin, followed by Brian Torres, and then Pedro Pajes. And if we get there in the 9-hole, Victor Scott II. And then, of course, Mason Wynn, who's at the top of the order. Whatever the case is, the Redbirds need runners as soon as possible. So what is everybody doing this afternoon with the exception of following the Redbirds? We are getting into their horrible pen. Well, maybe. I mean, we'll see what happens here. I mean, long story short, we're getting to that part of the order for the Redbirds, which for most of the season has been the soft underbelly of the lineup. Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that. All right, we are here for the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 5-4 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium. A bit of a sparse crowd for a Saturday afternoon in June, but hey, just chilling, watching some Cardinals baseball. Glad to hear it, Fire Phoenix. Here's the first pitch of Fermin. Chopped down the third baseline and out of play on the changeup, down and in, 87 miles per hour. Lodolo is out for his 6th frame of work, so Tito has elected to have him start the bottom of the 6th inning. That was his 91st pitch of the afternoon. Fermin is back into the box. It's a lefty-righty matchup from the full wind. Here's the 0-1. Strike, four-seam fastball on the inner third, right about belt high. Count is 0-2. Fermin didn't love the call, but did not dare to challenge it. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hit on out there into center field and in for a base hit. So a leadoff single by Jose Fermin. And that will get the Cardinals started off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. He shows bunt. He puts it down, and he bunts it foul down the first baseline on a curveball down and in. And the count is 0-1 to Brian Torres. Suarez plays Will in on the grass at third. Runner on first with nobody out. Showing bunt is Torres. Here's the 0-1. And he pushes it over there toward third. Fielded there by Suarez. He throws to first, and he throws it off the bag. And so Torres will reach there on basically a swinging bunt. And that'll put runners on first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here we go, Redbirds. Here we go. You know it, Thurman. Yep. On the throw down to first base by Suarez, it took Sal Stewart off the bag just as he was coming across, so Torres crossed at the right time. Kathy Thomas, go! And in fact, going is exactly what Lodolo was doing. Tito's going to the bullpen to the righty Antone, or Antone, depending on how you want to pronounce it, I guess. And so we have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Yeah, it was a hit. He didn't have to hit it far, but he hit it in just the right place, flying down the line. 28-year-old rookie's on first base. So the Cardinals have themselves a bit of a rally going here, down by 1. Let's see if they can execute. Coming up to the plate here, following the pitching changes, Pedro Pages, followed by Victor Scott II. And then Mason Wynn. And so we await resumption of play. So far on the year, the righty Antone, T.J. Antone, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the 32-year-old right-hander, in 11 games in 2026, a 0-0 record, a 4.35 ERA through 10 1/3 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.16. I just saw that email, Gabe. Thank you. It just came up as an alert on my phone. I'll take a look at it after the game. Thank you for inquiring, and thank you for sending me the email. Spice Muffins, let's go. You know it. Pozo right now is down at AAA. When they called up Jimmy Crooks, Pozo was the corresponding move down to AAA to make room in the 26-man roster. All right. Here we go. Pages is in the box. Righty-righty matchup. Now, here's the first pitch. Showing bunt is Pages. Going down toward third is the runner. And he is ruled safe at third. So Jose Fermin will steal third, and Brian Torres moves up to second as well. So now runners are on second and third. The pitch is ruled a ball, and it was even better than you could have hoped. He didn't have to sacrifice anything, even though he initially showed bunt, and he is clearly safe there at third, was Fermin. So the count is now 1 ball and no strikes. And coming up in the on-deck circle is none other than Lars Nootbaar. So presumably, he will probably be pinch hitting here after Pages for Victor Scott, and then they get to play and mix and match out there in the field. Because, okay. In fact, mid-at-bat, Lars Nootbaar is coming in for Pedro Pages. So he's not pinch hitting for Victor Scott. He's coming in mid-at-bat for Pedro Pages. Or at least that was originally the case. And they elect to put Nootbaar on, so they give him, well, you put up the four fingers even though the count was 2-0. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And it looks, if I didn't know any better, as if Ollie Marmol is going to pinch hit for Victor Scott with Jimmy Crooks. Let's see where this goes. It would make sense considering the pinch hitting for Nootbaar just had mid-at-bat for Pages, and it's Jimmy Crooks. He is pinch hitting for Victor Scott. Bases are loaded with nobody out. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch to Crooks. Cutter strike, inside corner about thigh high, and the count is 0-1. You got it, Thurman. Through 4 games, Jimmy Crooks is hitting .250. Here's the 0-1. Swinging strike on the sweeper, down and in. Swung over the top of that one, did Crooks at 85 miles an hour. The count is 0-2. Indeed, the pond is full of ducks. He was coming up to bat. Marmol pinch hit for Pages mid-at-bat. And then they basically put him on, so the bases are loaded. Here's the 0-2. Sweeper down and in for a ball, 84 miles per hour. The count is 1-2. So basically what happened is Pages was in the count 2-0. Ollie Marmol pinch hit for him mid-at-bat. And then when they saw the pinch hit, Cincinnati elected to put Newt on first base to load the bases. And now here's Jimmy Crooks pitch hitting for Victor Scott. A sweeper down and in for a ball, 85 miles per hour. The count is 2-2. So right now, the bases are loaded with nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-4 Cincinnati. Coming sit is Antone. He deals. Hit to the right side and foul down the first baseline. And the count remains 2-2. Not something you see every day, I think it's fair to say. Bases loaded, nobody out. It's a 2-2 count to Jimmy Crooks. Pinch hitting here for Victor Scott the second. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Coming set is the righty Antone. He deals. Hit to the right side. Throwing home for the force is 1. Going back to first. A double play. So he gets the runner coming home from third and Jimmy Crooks at first for the first and second outs. And that will leave runners on second and third with 2 out, presumably. And it's ruled a foul ball. It's ruled a foul ball. At least initially it appears that way. Let's see. Otherwise, it's a double play and a very rare one at that. Oh, he definitely beat the throw to first, though. Stand by. Yeah, runners on second and third with 2 out. I was right. Okay. Unfortunate turn of events. Now here's Mason Wynn with runners at second and third at 2 out. Still a 5-4 Cincinnati lead. He swings and misses on a slider for a strike. The count is 0-1. Who is winning? Cincinnati is currently winning 5-4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. An 0-1 count to Mason Wynn. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back on the slider, down and away, 86 miles per hour. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Coming set is Antone. He deals. Hit on up the middle. Fielded there by the shortstop. He throws to first. Just gets Wynn going down the line for the third and final out of the inning. So the Cardinals missed a golden opportunity with the bases loaded and nobody out to try to get fully back into this game, but no dice. We head to the top of the 7th inning. It is 5-4 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. So it's still tight late, but they hit themselves out of the inning, unfortunately. Yeah, that is not good ball at all. You're 100% right, Derek. It's a bad job. It's a bad job. You got to take opportunities like that when you get them. Yeah, it was terrible hitting. I'll use Crooks to steal the opportunity from us. Well, I don't think he was really trying to steal the opportunity there, but ultimately it was between him, really, and Victor Scott. He rolled the dice, and he lost. How do you not score this inning? A fair question, Fire Phoenix. A very fair question. Well, that's an interesting question, Ethan. Let me take a look at the schedule. Yeah, they play all but one day over that period that you're asking about. All right, here's Ryan Stanek. He is now in the game. He's in relief of Gordon Graceffo through 24 and a third, a 5.18 ERA, and a 1.68 WHIP. Oh, I'll have to go back and check. But all you need to do is, when you have better service, is just go to Cardinals.com or look at the MLB app. You'll find the answers right there. All right, so Newbar is actually out in center field. Crooks is behind the plate. So that will adjust the alignment defensively. Here's the first pitch from Stanek. And it's a fly ball out there just to the fair side of first base. Underneath it is Burleson. He calls for it. He squeezes it for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out for Ryan Stanek. He has one job right now, and that's to keep the Reds exactly where they are. Still have 3 innings, yes they do. But that was a golden opportunity. Those don't come every single time around. Now here's the first pitch to Blade. Four-seam fastball up and away, 97 miles per hour for a ball. The count is 1-0. It is a righty-lefty matchup. Coming set the Birds. He deals. Hit to the right side and foul down the right field line. Count is 1-1. Do I think Newbar deserves a Gold Glove? I think we haven't seen nearly enough from him this year to be able to make that determination. Coming set is Stanek at the Birds. Here's the 1-1. Hit on over towards second. Fielded there by Torres. He throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. So Ryan Stanek comes in, gets a couple of quick outs here in the top of the 7th. And that is 2 outs with nobody on. Now here comes the righty hitting second baseman Steer. He's in the 3-hole this afternoon for Cincinnati. Righty-righty matchup. Coming set is Stanek. He deals. Strike, sinker, outer third above the knees, 98 miles per hour from Stanek. Spencer Steer, line out, sacrifice fly, and a walk. He is 0 for 1. In the box is Steer. Coming set is Stanek. He deals. Chopped down towards short. Field on a hop by Mason Wynn. Throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. Ryan Stanek gets the Reds to go down in order. It's 7th inning stretch time down at Busch Stadium. It's 5-4 Cincinnati. Cards have 9 outs left to work with. Let's try to get fully back in this game. Reese K. Well, it's good to see you, Reese. It was a good outing. So, 7th inning stretch down at Busch Stadium. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbirds action, by all means, leave a like. I appreciate it. The growing channel definitely benefits from it. And if you want to see more, because I call pretty much every Redbirds game now, by all means, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. With that in mind, we're going to the bottom of the 7th. Leading off the bottom of the 7th for the Redbirds is going to be Herrera, followed by Jordan Walker, and then Nelson Velasquez is due up, and if we get to him, Alec Burleson. Good to see and hear your call, Paul. Hey, I'm glad to hear it. We're all friends here. Justin Beasley, I'm back, chat. Been gone since the bottom of the 5th. What did I miss? A very disappointing bottom of the 6th inning, to say the least, Justin. The Cardinals had the bases loaded and nobody out. And then a double play, and then Mason win, and they didn't get anything across. It was a golden opportunity. I'm not going to belabor the matter, but it wasn't pretty. But let's see where they go from here. And now here comes Ivan Herrera, 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Herrera's getting ready to step in the box. Right now, the Cardinals broadcast is going over everything that we just lived through in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the first pitch to Herrera. Hit on out into right center field, and it is in for a base hit. So a leadoff single by Ivan Herrera, and the Cardinals have the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the 7th. Thurman, we could use a Big Mac or a Jack Clark right about now. Well, you're getting a Jordan Walker. That's been pretty nice this year. And here's Jordan Walker. He is 2 for 3. A strikeout swinging, a single, and a solo home run. Here's the pitch. Cutter, strike, outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. If you keep putting pressure on them, they are bound to crack. It helps. Coming set is Antone in his second frame of work. Here's the 0-1 to Walker. Strike, sinker on the inner third above the knees, 94 miles an hour. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Herrera leads off first. It's an 0-2 count. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. And we wait a little longer for the 0-2 pitch. Coming set is Antone. Here's the 0-2. Fly ball over towards the Cardinal dugout, giving a look over it and over the fence there on the top step of the dugout. Sal Stewart reached out but couldn't get to it. And the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Ivan Herrera is on first following his leadoff single. That tarps off contingent just keeps getting a little bigger with every inning. Comes set is Antone. He deals a sweeper into the righty Walker for a ball, 86 miles per hour. Q-Man, Dixon, Missouri is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Coming set is Antone. Here's the 1-2. A sweeper down and away and out of the zone, 85 miles an hour. Count is 2-2. Herrera leads off first. It's a 2-2 count to Jordan Walker. Coming set is Antone. Right there, slightly below the letters, he deals. Swinging strike 3 on the cutter away for the first out of the inning. 6 is a serious number. It would be nice for the Cards to get 6 again today. And boy, do they need it. Runner on first now with 1 out. Here comes Nelson Velasquez. A ground out, a foul out, and a ground out. He's 0 for 3. He's out and left today. Coming set is Antone. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Strike, cutter, outer third at the knees. 90 miles an hour, and the count is 0-1. Coming set is Antone. Here's the 0-1. Chop foul down the third baseline and out of play on the sweeper away. 83 miles per hour. The count is 0-2. Moving very deliberately is Antone. Definitely pushing the limits of that pitch clock. Velasquez is back in the box. Runner on first with 1 out. He comes set. Steps off the rubber. Looks over to first. And we wait a little longer for the 0-2. Coming set is Antone. He deals. Swinging strike 3 on the sweeper away for the second out of the inning. So Antone gets Velasquez there on 3 straight. Not exactly what he had drawn up there going into the box. Now here comes Francona. He is going to the pen. He's going to the left-hander Maul. With 2 out in the bottom of the 7th, the runner still on first. And we have ourselves a pitching change. So he's going to the lefty Maul with Burleson coming up to get that lefty-lefty matchup. I never pretend that I'm anything else, but like I said, you don't like my call, you can get it somewhere else. That's fine with me. Fine with me, Katie. Having a weird day while mowing a foot-long lizard. Ran over my foot. Chased down a copperhead when rain started. I came in. Bird hit window in computer room and it breaks it. You've had a heck of a day, Q-Man. Yeah, that is a very strange turn of events there. Who would have thought? So we await the final couple of warm-ups from the bullpen in the lefty Maul coming into the game. Coming in to face the lefty Burleson. I'm still upset at Ollie for pinch hitting Scott for a rookie who has no speed and is a catcher. He gambled and lost. That much is true, Sam. All right. Action resumes. Runner on first with 2 out through 26 and a third innings pitch. Maul has a 2.39 ERA with a 1.06 whip, 9.57 Ks per 9. Here's Alec Burleson. Coming sets Maul. He deals. Sweeper strike, outer third thigh high. The count is 0-1. Alec Burleson is 1 for 2, singled in his first at-bat. Here's the 0-1. Swinging strike on the sweeper, down and away, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. That's an interesting question, John. I always make sure everything is taken care of before I start. Coming set is Maul. So 2 count to Burleson. He deals. Sweeper down and away, nowhere near the zone, 83 miles an hour. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Coming set at the belt is Maul. Runner leads off first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-4 Cincinnati. He deals. There's a fly ball out there into center field. He's underneath it. The center fielder makes the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So the Cards cannot capitalize on the leadoff single by Ivan Herrera. We head to the top of the 8th inning. It's 5-4 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium. I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. You know, that's a really good question. Let's go take a look at his numbers. Okay. So for AAA, actually, looks like he's having quite a year. Let me pull this up exactly. Okay. So down at Memphis, AAA. Well, right now, Blaze Jordan is hitting .322. He has a .378 on-base percentage and an OPS of .933. That's very impressive. Yes, he's doing quite well. It has been the Cardinals' problem all season, not hitting the runners in scoring position. Yeah, that's usually where they've run into a lot of trouble. And there are the times when they do, and then, they just, begin raining it on. Then there's days like today. I just stumbled upon you. Do you do every game? Well, Jeff, mostly, yeah. Mostly I do. I'm glad you stumbled upon us. Welcome aboard. Okay. We are heading to the top of the 8th inning. Sal Stewart, followed by Eugenio Suarez, and then Dunn. George Soriano is in the game for the Redbirds. Top of the 8th inning, it is 5-4 Cincinnati. It's a righty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Sweeper strike, inside corner below the belt to the righty Sal Stewart from the righty George Soriano. Count is 0-1. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, Jeff. Great to have you aboard. Coming set Soriano. Here's the 0-1. A sinker up and in, 95 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. In 24 2/3 innings pitched, Soriano has a 2.92 ERA with a 1.09 WHIP, 8.03 Ks per 9. Coming set is Soriano. Here's the 1-1. Inside a sinker, well off the plate inside, 96 miles per hour. Count is 2-1. I hope so, Q-Man. I hope so. Coming set is Soriano. Here's the 2-1. Hit on out there into shallow center field. Coming in is Nootbaar. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Wow, we're up to 4-11. Goodness. Oh, John. 25 was a long time ago for me, I could tell you. Alrighty. Now here is the righty hitting third baseman Suarez. Here's the first pitch from Soriano. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball away, 96 miles per hour. The count is 0-1. Yeah, he's going to have some hard questions to answer in the postgame if it ends like this. There's no question about it, Sam. Coming set is Soriano. It's a righty-righty matchup. He deals. Slider away for a ball, 89 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly how you feel, Reese. I know exactly how you feel. Evansville, Indiana. He grew up near Don Mattingly. Oh, that's so cool. It's a 1-1 count. Soriano, he deals. A sinker just missed off the plate away to the righty Suarez, and the count is now 2-1 strike. Thank you for keeping up my spirits, Q-Man. And stepping off the rubber there is Soriano. He's having a little bit of trouble getting on the same page there with Jimmy Crooks. A pitch clock violation there by Soriano. The count is 3-1. Coming set is Soriano. Here's the 3-1. Hit on out there into shallow right field. Underneath it is Torres. He calls for it. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. The Fire Phoenix. Paul's algorithm must be stellar. Keep sharing the stream to every major social media platform, everybody. Hey, I'm glad to know that I do something that you guys want to so enthusiastically share. That's something special. All right, nobody on, 2 out, top of the 8th inning. It's 5-4 Cincinnati down at Busch Stadium here in the second game of 3. Here's the first pitch to Dunn. Four-seam fastball strike, 96 miles per hour. The count is 0-1. Righty Soriano against the righty hitting Dunn. Coming set from the stretch is George Soriano. He deals. Strike, changeup on the outer third at the knees. The count is 0-2. Okay, Ethan. Let's see. Is Caper 9 how many strikeouts someone has per 9? Yeah, per 9 innings pitched, so it's an average over a larger sample size. Coming set. Here's the 0-2. Hit to the left side, and it's a fair ball down the left field line. It hits off the stands, caroms out, picked up by Mason Wynn, and into second there is Dunn, and he has himself a stand-up 2-out double in the top of the 8th inning. Make sure you play the Fall Festival. Half pot. So, he just got a piece of that. It was just out of the reach of Fermin at third, and it stayed fair and not by much. And now, Dunn is down at second with 2 out for the Reds. Now, here's the righty Marte. He's 1 for 2. Runner on second with 2 out. Here's the first pitch from Soriano. Hit to the left side. Right there is Fermin. He throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. So, despite the 2-out double by Dunn, nothing across for Cincinnati. Cardinals head to the bottom of the 8th inning down at Busch Stadium here in Game 2 of 3. And as a programming note, I will be back for tomorrow's Sunday afternoon game to close out this 3-game series. It is scheduled for 1:15 p.m. first pitch Central Time. I will begin here on Game Mic, start up the stream around 1:05 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to catch the third and final game in this series, you know exactly where to find it. Right here on Game Mic. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. I would have rather had Gorman pinch hit at least. He would have struck out, and we would have still had the bases loaded with 1 out. Yeah. Your point was well made earlier. Ollie Marmol, if this thing does not end up going the right way, is just going to have a lot of difficult questions to answer in the postgame. Done is done, and the Reds are done. Get hungry, Cards. We can do it. You can do it. Base hit, baby. Baseball has been very good to me. You and me both. So we await the beginning of the bottom of the 8th inning. See who the pitcher record is. So, according to the official record, Maul, the left-hander, is still the pitcher of record going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ah, yeah. Kathy Thomas keeping up the spirit. Head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-4 Cincinnati. Now here comes Jose Fermin. He's had a pretty decent day. He's 2 for 3. Then Brian Torres. And then our buddy Lars Nootbaar, who's in center field. Yep. Maul continues out there for his second frame of work. Lefty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch to Fermin. Sinker strike right down Broadway, 92 miles per hour. And the count is 0-1. Yes, you're absolutely correct, Warlord. It is 82 years today. Coming set is Maul. Here's the 0-1. Change up down and away out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Baseball is all well and fine, but when you put it in the perspective of the invasion of Northwest Europe, it definitely changes the calculus. Here's the 1-1. Change up down and in for a ball, 87 miles per hour. The count is 2-1. Indeed, it is the flags of the Allied powers, especially the Western ones, that hang up behind me here each and every game. Coming set is Maul. Here's the 1-1. Hit and chop foul down the third base side, now to play on the sinker. And the count is 2-2 strikes. Thanks for all your service. Be sure to share this to all service people all over the world. They do a very important job that asks a tremendous amount of them. Here's a 2-2 to Fermin. Change up away and off the plate. The count is full, 3-2. Amen, Kathy. Coming set is Maul. Here's a 3-2 to Fermin. Hit foul down the third base line and out of play on the sinker in. The count remains 3-2. Oh, the Firefox are going to Southeast Asia now, aren't you? Where in Southeast Asia do you find them? Where is that going to take you? Nobody on, nobody out. It's a 3-2 count to Jose Fermin. Maul comes set. He deals. Hit to the right side and past a diving Sal Stewart into right field for a leadoff base hit. So Jose Fermin, he gets the party started here in the bottom of the 8th inning with a solo, rather, I should say a single to right. How is 99 Ks per 9? I don't think anybody's ever done that, really, other than, well, I mean, I suppose if you've only pitched one inning times 3, even then, yeah, 99 per 9, that doesn't really happen. Yeah, here's the bunt. And he gets him down there at first, so the runner will move up to second. Torres put a perfect bunt down the first baseline. It's the first out of the inning. And now Jose Fermin is down in scoring position. Now here's Lars Nootbaar. He came in, pinch hit for Pages halfway through the at-bat and then was intentionally walked immediately thereafter. Here's the first pitch. Sweeper strike, outside corner at the knees. It's a lefty-lefty matchup with the lefty Maul against the lefty-hitting Nootbaar. And the count is 0-1 with one out with a runner at second. Coming set is Maul. He deals. Strike, sweeper, inside corner at the knees, 83 miles an hour. The count is 0 balls and 2 strikes. Newbar steps back into the box. Infield defense very heavily shaded towards right with the exception of Suarez out there playing third straight away. Coming sets Maul. Here's the 0-2. Sweeper down and away for a ball, 85 miles an hour. The count is 1-2. Darth Maul, yeah. Not as cool looking, but I appreciate the reference. Leading off second is Faramine. Coming set is Maul. Here's the 1-2 to Newbar. Hit it out there to right field. Going back towards the track, looking up, and it is gone. A 2-run home run for Lars Newbar. And that will give the Cardinals a 6-5 lead. Oh, Lars was all over that one. My goodness, it goes 5 rows deep into right center field. And now the Cardinals have a 6-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Oh, what a clutch home run off the bat of Lars Newbar. He has been everything in a bag of chips since coming back yesterday. Yes, Meme Fox, go Redbirds. Indeed, Thurman, indeed. Newt. Here's the first pitch of Jimmy Crooks. Sinker strike right down Broadway, and Newt takes a curtain call. Count is 0-1 to Jimmy Crooks. Like the stream to celebrate. Follow Justin Beasley's lead. Coming set is Maul. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Foul down the third base side. Now to play on the four-seam fastball up 94 miles per hour. And count is 0-2. Oh, he really got all of that one. It really just explodes off his bat. It's great to see. Rush Dash, favorite Cardinals player. You chose well, I can say that. Coming sets Maul. Here's the 0-2 to Crooks. Called strike 3. Four-seam fastball outside corner. Down looking goes Crooks for the second out of the inning. We were waiting patiently for that after the double play with the bases loaded. Yeah. Oh, it is not always easy having patience. That much is sure. That much is sure. So the real question is O'Brien going to come in and try to nail down the save? And Tito is going to the pen. So Maul has been yanked from this game after allowing a couple of earned runs on that 2-run bomb Ola. Santanian is coming in. I remember him from a couple weeks ago. The Cardinals got to him, I believe, on the Saturday in the second game. You know it, White Shadow. You know it. Cards are relentless. No fear right now. This is so exciting, man. It really is. Mason Win Prods. Hey, welcome back. All right. So Santanian is in the game. Let me give you his numbers here. The 29-year-old right-hander in 2026 in 26 games is 1-3 with a 6.65 ERA in 23 innings pitched, 22 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.65. So not a great year for Santanian, admittedly. Play like you're having fun. Yeah, absolutely. Newbar. Yeah. Oh, man, he has been really from, the very start of yesterday, he has made his presence known in a huge way. And I can't wait to get Weatherhall back where they're both in the lineup. Even though number-wise, surprisingly, they are very similar players. Different skill sets and whatnot, but in some meaningful categories. All right. Santanian is in here in relief of Maul. Now, here's today's leadoff hitter, Mason Wynn. He's 2 for 4. He's actually having a decent day other than ending out that bases loaded situation in the bottom of the 6th. There's a slur for a ball away. The count is 1-0. Common set is the righty Santinian. It's a righty-righty matchup. Here's the 1-0. Slurve down and away out of the zone, 84 miles per hour. The count is 2-0. Every time Nootbaar has played, the Cardinals have won. Maybe it's a sign. I think so. Here's a 2-0 to win. Called strike, down and away, outside corner, 95 miles per hour. The count is 2-1. Couple of singles this afternoon for Mason Wynn. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Up and in, four-seam fastball out of the zone, 95 miles per hour. The count is now 3-1 strike to the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Mason Wynn. And the count is 3-1. Wynn's back in the box. Santinian comes set above the belt. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fouled back behind the plate and out of play on the four-seam fastball down Broadway, 95 miles per hour. And the count is full, 3-2 strikes. They are top of the NL wildcard. They are indeed. Coming set is Santinian. Here's a 3-2. And he swings and misses on the slurve, gets away there from the catcher. He runs down towards first, throws down to first to record the third and final out of the inning and make the strikeout official. But not before Lars Nootbaar deposits a two-run home run about 5 or 6 rows deep in right center field at Busch Stadium. It is a 6-5 Cardinal lead going to the top of the ninth. Is it Riley O'Brien time? How do you feel about that? I guess we shall wait and see. But that would seem to be the likely outcome. But until I see something definite, whatever it is, whoever's coming in has got themselves in a save situation. It also means if they are successful, George Soriano would be the pitcher of record for the Cardinals. He'd end up getting the win. 515 subs. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Simply watching and coming on back. You know, participate in the station in the chat is certainly encouraged, but of course is not required. And I'd like to thank everybody here that's helped this channel grow. And I'm simply glad you take so much away from this. I love doing it myself, and I'm going to keep doing it. Okay. So let's see where Ollie chooses to go with his choice of closer this afternoon. With that 6-5 lead, there is very little wiggle room here at the moment. Oh, goodness. And here comes Riley O'Brien. He is coming on in. See, John, don't call it a comeback. Been here for years. Oh, I know exactly how you feel. If you've been a baseball fan long enough, you know. All right, O'Brien is in. It's a righty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch to McLean. Strike, sinker, inside corner below the belt, 94 miles an hour. The count is 0-1. Riley O'Brien this year, through 27 games, it's 3-3 with a 3.95 ERA through 27 in the third innings pitch. Here's the 0-1. A sweeper down and away, goes all the way to the backstop, 83 miles per hour. The count is 1-1. In that time, he has 29 strikeouts and a whip of 1.10. It's a 1-1 count to the righty McLean. Here's the 1-1. Hit on out to right field. Right there is Jordan Walker. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the first out of the top of the ninth. Marketing a protein Nootbaar could be a thing. Yes. Yes, Reese. That is, I love it. All righty. Now, here's the lefty hitting low. He's pinch hitting here for the catcher Higgins. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Strike, sweeper, right down Broadway, 83 miles an hour. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Coming set is O'Brien. Here's the 0-1. Foul down the third base side now to play on the sinker, up and in, 99 miles per hour from O'Brien. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Back in the box is Lowe. I think he pronounces it Lau, but Derek Lowe got there first with the same spelling. Coming sets O'Brien. Here's the 0-2. A sweeper just misses the outside corner. It was just a little wide according to the home plate umpire. Crooks is not challenging it, even with the Cardinals having both of their ABS challenges. Coming set is O'Brien. Here's the 1-2. Swinging strike 3. Down goes Lowe, 99 miles per hour for the second out of the inning. I'm glad to see the chat has broken out and to take me out of the ball game. Now, 2 outs here with nobody on, top of the 9th inning. Now, here comes the pinch hitter Benson. He is in for Myers, the center fielder who is hitting leadoff. So it's a righty-lefty matchup with 2 out and nobody on. It's a 6-5 Cardinal lead in the top of the 9th inning. Riley O'Brien trying to nail it down for the Redbirds. He comes set at the belt. Here's the first pitch. Hit to the right side and past a diving Torres into right field for a base hit. So the Reds have themselves some late life. 2-out single in the top of the 9th to keep their hopes alive. Now, here is the lefty hitting Belady, who is the DH this afternoon. No, nothing as easy, ever as easy as Zodiac, that's for sure. Especially not in baseball. Runner on first with 2 out, righty-lefty matchup with the lefty Belady at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Strike, slider, outer third above the knees, 90 miles per hour, and the count is 0-1. Coming set is O'Brien. Runner leads off first. 2 out, top of the 9th. Here's the pitch. Sweeper down and in for a ball, 85 miles per hour. Belady managed to hold up on that. He was not tempted, and the count is 1-1. Foul out. Reached on an E3, pop out. Belady's 0 for 4 today. Runner leads off first. Coming set is O'Brien, righty-lefty matchup. Here's the 1-1. Hit to the right side and through and into center field for a base hit. Rounding second, going to third is the runner. And now they'll have the runners on first and third with 2 out here in the top of the 9th. Making it very, very tight here late. Riley O'Brien is still 1 out away, and Belady just put it right up the middle in the huge hole between second and where Torres was shaded towards right defensively. Runners are on first and third with 2 out. Now here's the righty hitting second baseman Steer. He's 0 for 2. It's a righty-righty matchup. Coming set is O'Brien. He deals. Sinker down and away, out of the zone, 98 miles an hour. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Spencer Steer, this season with runners in scoring position, 2 out. He's hitting 192 with a home run and 7 RBIs. Tough hitter. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, a sinker, 99 miles per hour, clear out of the zone. The count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Runners are on first and third with 2 out. It's 6-5 Cardinals in the top of the 9th. O'Brien's on to try to nail down this save. He comes set at the belt. Here's the 2-0. Just missed with a sweeper on the inside corner, slightly low. And the count is now 3 balls and no strikes to Steer. On deck is Sal Stewart. Coming set is O'Brien. He deals. Strike, sinker, right down Broadway, 97 miles per hour. And the count is 3-1. Coming set at the belt is O'Brien. Here's the 3-1 to steer. Swinging strike on the sinker, up and in, 97 miles an hour. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the runner takes second on defensive indifference, so that puts runners on second and third. I don't even know that you can call it defensive indifference. They simply didn't throw down there. He is very important in this situation. Here's a 3-2. Ball 4 on the sinker away, and that will load the bases. And so now here comes the first baseman, the cleanup hitter here. No, correction. No, the cleanup hitter here for the Reds, Sal Stewart. With the bases loaded and 2 out, it's a 6-5 Cardinal lead. And they're going to have a little powwow out on the mound with Riley O'Brien. I think it's fair to say, folks, that whether you're watching and listening here or you're at Busch Stadium or wherever you may be following this game, you can cut the tension in the air with a butter knife. And so the big powwow is happening out on the mound. The question is, can O'Brien record this final out with the tying run not 90 feet away for the Reds? It's a 6-5 game with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Stepping in is Sal Stewart. He's a cleanup hitter this afternoon for Cincinnati. Comes sets O'Brien. He deals. A sweeper just missed off the inside corner to the righty Stewart. The count is 1-0. Didn't miss by much, but it did miss. It's a righty-righty matchup. Coming set is O'Brien. Here's the 1-0. Strike, sinker, outside corner at the knees. Challenge immediately there by Sal Stewart. And so we're going to await the outcome here. It's called a strike. He is challenging it. Let's see. And the call is overturned, and it's in fact now a 2-0 count to Sal Stewart. So O'Brien is behind in the count, 2 balls, no strikes after the successful ABS challenge by Sal Stewart. Coming set is O'Brien. Here's the 2-0. Just missed the inside corner with the sinker, 97 miles per hour, and the count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Didn't miss by much, but it did miss. Coming set is O'Brien. And time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Sal Stewart, and we wait a little bit longer. Bases loaded with 2 out. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Strike, sinker, right down Broadway, 98 miles an hour. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike to the cleanup hitter for Cincinnati. Bases loaded in his career. He's 3 for 6. Coming sets O'Brien. Here's the 3-1. And challenged immediately there by Crooks. It's initially ruled a ball, so we await the outcome of the ABS there. It is going to be very close. Let's see what it says. And it is a strike, so it will now be a full count. The call is overturned from a ball 4 to a full count, 3-2. Much rest on this next pitch out of the right hand of O'Brien. Bases loaded with 2 outs, 6-5 St. Louis, top of the 9th. It is a full count. Everybody at Busch Stadium is on their feet, and you can feel the tension through the screen. In the box is Stewart. On the bump is O'Brien. He comes set at the belt. Here's a 3-2. Hit right there to second base, fielded by Torres, throws to first in time. And the Cardinals win. O'Brien nails down the final out. It's 6-5. St. Louis is your final. And now here's the victory tune. Oh, making it so close late. Oh, yes. 6-5 Cardinals over the Reds is your final. Riley O'Brien makes it interesting late. Lars Nootbaar comes on and gets the big hit to put the Cardinals ahead late. And they have taken the first 2 games in this 3-game series. So the Cardinals have now won the series. And now tomorrow afternoon, they go for the sweep. So as a programming note here, tomorrow afternoon's game is scheduled for a 1:15 p.m. start time. I think some inclement weather may be in the forecast. I'm just taking a look here real quick. And there is some, but it looks like at least at present they have a good chance of getting the game in. Whatever the case is, 1:15 p.m. Central Time is scheduled first pitch for tomorrow afternoon's game. I will be here starting up the Game Mike play-by-play stream at 1:05 p.m. Central Time. And you can catch all the action for Game 3 tomorrow afternoon right here on Game Mike. 6-5 St. Louis is your final. They come back late. Riley O'Brien makes it interesting, but he records the save. 6-5 is your final. And it was an excellent Cards win. Oh, my God, do they have to make it so stressful? Chuck, I think, unfortunately, they do by contractual obligation. Oh, goodness. Yes, see you all tomorrow. For life, it's a pleasure. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You know it, Jazzy Gila. Jazzy Gillespie. There we go. Reese K. Maybe prepare a little history conversation if we have run into a rain delay, Paul. Hey, what I might do in that case is I'll begin reading to you guys from the baseball classic, The Bronx is Burning, about the 1977 New York Yankees. Or, I'll just talk, whatever's there. Roger Baseman, great game. Great call, Paul. Great game. Thank you so much, Roger. Jake, thanks for the show. See you guys tomorrow. Jake, you're very welcome. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, goodness. Justin Beasley, 129 likes, 517 subs. Oh, goodness. Great day. Thank you, chat, and thank you, Paul. I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Justin, I will be right here from the first pitch to the last out. David Hodge. Let's get this game. He got it done all right. Kathy Thomas, take care, guys. Kathy, you take care as well. It's always wonderful to see you here. John Wilms, oh yeah, Ron Hunt is a friend. Mets third baseman, great guy. All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming out here this afternoon. The Cardinals win it 6-5 late. And I'll be back tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Central Time for the 1:15 scheduled first pitch. Thanks, Paul. You got it, John. Goodbye. Take care, Richard Talley. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mike. I'm Paul D. 6-5 is our final. The Cards win this second game. They have won the series. They're looking to bring their brooms tomorrow afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I'm Paul D. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mike. Bombers Game Mike over and out. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you are well, wherever you may be. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Cheers, everybody.